Okay. We have an acquisition of signal over there. Jeez, guys, that's no good. All right. Okay. All right. Welcome on the YouTube side of things here. This is the Space Nerd watching me, EJ, watching IFT-5 here. If you're over on Twitch, you've probably you've been here. So I'm gonna just tune us into the NSF coverage with permission here, real quick. We're an hour and 26 minutes out from launch there. We'll be popping back between NSF coverage used with permission, and then we'll switch to SpaceX coverage in about an hour. But are you gonna flip out to the side of a cot booster? Yeah. Yes, I am. Okay. Hold on. I just need a sip of coffee. I've been up for a long time. Very good. Very tasty. Yeah, Callan, I'm gonna lose it, dude. When this thing goes, I was kind of wondering about the catch, but after what I heard Bill Gerstenmaier say, that kind of sealed the deal for me. You wouldn't say that you were sub-centimeter precision if you absolutely meant it. Hang on, I'm just cleaning up here quick. Put this down. I had my laptop up here with the support cue for NSF when I was over there. I did coverage on the NSF starting at on the NSF stream on this stream right here, starting at midnight last night. Well, 6 hours ago, give or take. And we'll go, yeah. And now they handed it off to Adrian Doss, Marcus, and Alex and Ryan. So, yeah, they're over there doing their thing. Pat, thanks for streaming on YouTube. I'm sadly at work today and want to watch it with you. No problem, Pat. Don't worry about it. Nate, I'm kind of with you. Hey, Riv, Balxy, how you guys doing? Good morning. Are they photographers? They're rocket correspondents. You get enough sleep, Ray? I'm gonna be all right, dude. I got like 2 to 3 hours of sleep last night. I got 2 to 3 hours of sleep. Oh yeah? Seen many rockets? Maybe a little on TV. I thought you were well rested. 2 to 3 hours of sleep is good enough, dude. Flavia, what's going on? Watching you on one tablet, NSF on my phone, and Tim Dodd on another. Yeah, baby, let's go. Paul, what's going on? Morning. Do you think the sub-centimeter precision was an error and he meant sub-meter, which seems much more likely? Bill Gerstenmaier is not the type of guy to misspeak, dude. I've watched hundreds of press conferences with him. He doesn't misspeak. I mean, it's possible, dude, but yeah, that's nuts, dude. Sub-meter makes a lot more sense though, Paul, but I think even if he did misspeak and it means sub-meter precision is good enough. That's what you need to get it in the chopsticks. I'm sure SpaceX would have issued a correction to his statement if it wasn't right. Yeah, I'm with you. Here, let's see what Das and Adrian are up to.
The air. Let's go to Ryan for the weather, the air traffic report, I think it is.
Well, I don't have any weather. What are we talking about? We have an air traffic report, and I can report good news, ladies and gentlemen, because that right there we go, is the WB-57, just taken off out of Ellington Field in Houston, which is there. And it's on its way to Starbase. It's now flying down towards the south. So if you just imagine Texas, this is the bit, around Houston, which kind of curves up. You've got Louisiana over that ways. All the way down here, and then below the screen is where Starbase is, and it's flying in that direction. It's just passed through 22,000 feet. This thing can go up to like 40, 50, 60,000 feet, stupid high in the air. It's equipped with incredible optics, which means it can get some pretty cool tracking shots of Starship as it flies through the aircraft's horizon. So we're looking forward to see if we can get any cool clips from this aircraft right here. But as we can see, it's on its way to Starbase. So this is not the only sign that things are going
Ryan's
well,
good
but
people.
this is just another sign
I
to
like
add on
Ryan
to
a
the
lot.
type of activity that SpaceX is still.
There are 2
targeting,
NASA planes?
The T0 for today, because if they
What are
weren't,
you talking
then
about?
NASA wouldn't have sent the aircraft out.
Ryan, I grew up in Corpus Christi, Texas, right on the Gulf Coast, a couple hours north of Starbase there, right? Born and bred down there. And I never thought that I'd have a British guy telling me where Houston is.
I mean, I'm glad you did.
The German guy's okay with it.
Yeah, I'm very fine. Like, I'm very fine. To be fair, I at this point, I feel like everybody of us has a very good education about the general Texas area, because Starbase. But yeah, absolutely interesting that that's in the air. As Ryan said, they wouldn't send this if there would be zero chance to
Hey,
launch.
Vargon.
That would be quite a waste of
I'm
personal
excited, man.
fuel.
It costs money to fly the thing. Like
Yeah.
in some cases, I don't know the exact situation here, but I do know that some providers actually have to rent or hire these NASA assets. It's like, oh, it's NASA. Now I don't know if that's the case here. I just have worked with other companies where they're like, oh yeah, we have to rent the range
James.
equipment, we have to do this, we have to do that. So it costs money to put that.
I
thing
got
in
a
the
second
air.
one in the works, hypersonic. I wouldn't
Another
worry
good
about it
sign.
too much.
It's all about like reading the tea leaves.
Gwen said they want the other tower online by the end of the year. It's gonna happen by the end of the year. If Elon said it, I'd be like, but Gwen said it. So if you can see the 2 dots back there, you can just barely see. Damn it, Kevin. You just barely see there's another tower back there. They have 2 of them, dude. Here, actually, you know what? I'll just show you a picture. How's that? 2 WB-57s are up. All right, let's see. Reject it. Where's the other one? Yeah, Max, everything's looking good.
SpaceX continuing to count down. We just crossed under a minute or an hour and 20 minutes. when
Flight
that
6 launch
window
date? Oh, I don't know, man.
opens. How big is the window today? Do we have
30
information
minutes,
on
right?
that?
The information
Yeah,
was
30
the
minutes.
window. There we go. Marcus, can I throw you a question because I'm curious? Of course, I missed the first part when you're on, but what is your expectation for this flight? Like, if you would right now have to say, like, I expect this to go like this. Do you expect a catch? Do you expect them to go for it? Do you expect the ship to survive re-entry? Like, what's your feeling?
This is like poll time when chat starts to chime in what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we know that SpaceX are not afraid of taking risks. So I think unless
It was
there's a
good
good
when I saw
reason
them
to-
last
to
year.
abort
One was
that
going on the heavy
scenario, if
maintenance.
something
Parts
wrong
are
with the
hard to
vehicle, something
find.
wrong with the arms,
They
which
have
will be
a
obvious to
F-18
them, then
ejector seats.
they will
Cool.
go for it.
Is there
We're not
any
going to
specific
know
reason
that
why they use an
until we sort of see it be
RB-57F?
clean flight right up to boost back burn.
It was cheap.
Anomalous at that point, it'll be a no. But I think there's a pretty good chance. I would say 50-50 chance that they commit to it. That doesn't mean that it's going to be caught. It means that I think that there's other
The other
abort
tower is
scenarios,
back there.
right, that are going to happen
Actually,
after
it's
that
way over there in this
thumbs up.
shot.
So
but-
I'm 50.
Hey, Squarish, how excited are you? I am excited.
Acceptance. Yep. Send it back. And
Look in the
then,
top
there's
left
a
corner
number
for
of other
most
things.
search
The chances
flights
of
on
actually
Flight
catching
Radar.
With the tower successfully. Oh, I mean, who can predict that one?
Discovery,
That one
go
is,
and throttle up.
It's going to be absolutely incredible to watch
Guys,
those last,
NASA
last 10 seconds because it's very nail biting watching how
These are the
fast
same
it
plane.
plummets down through
Guys.
the atmosphere because it when it does its boost back burn,
It's
it
just a
comes up very
glitch.
high.
These
And
are the same
I
plane.
believe this time because it's got to come back further, it'll end up even higher. So that gives it even more momentum as it goes through its terminal velocity
that's the
stages,
same. That's the
plummeting
same
back down
aircraft,
through
guys.
the atmosphere, and it only
It's
kicks
only
the
one
engines in
WB-57,
just the
guys.
last, like 10 seconds, something like that. So
Did you get a new PC chair or
right
are
at
you
that
shrinking?
point,
I'm
it's going to be
slouching in my
nail
chair a
biting
little
to
bit,
watch,
bud.
And then we're either hopefully see it continue right down to be caught, or we'll see it do some sort of
So
massive dog
WB-57 took off from Ellington.
to get out of
This
the
is
way.
where the launch site is. It's
I
right
really wonder
there.
what's going to happen. I mean, they put it down so accurately when they did the Gulf landing, right? They said a half. What did they say? A half centimeter.
Half a centimeter.
Half
And
a what?
I still have questions about because how you measure that. Like, yes, I know there are in theory technologies where you can measure up to,
Yeah.
but there's no like.
I really like ADS-B, McCory. Yeah, flight radar is fine. Like I don't mind it, but I like ADS-B. I think
Measurement
ADS-B
of
has a
half a
little bit
centimeter.
more
I
of
mean,
a.
I'm positive that we have the technology to measure.
Like I love how it gives
that
all this
accurately,
information.
right?
And
We
don't
can
get me
put-
wrong, flight radar does too.
Okay, they're bad
but,
rockets, but we
yeah,
can put missiles through
nice.
windows. Like that's a thing that's
Half a
been
centimeter,
happening for
aka 50
longer than it
50
needs to be,
millimeter.
right? But the rocket is so big.
Hey,
Like
hey drummer, how
controlling
about
something that's that
you
large, and you have
go
the wind's coming
away
through, and
and
you're coming back down.
use a
and do you
real
have all
measuring
your
system
control,
like
and
the
do
real
you
big
get
boy
that
countries?
close?
They had an engine failure as well. They had not all 13 healthy. They were also
Yeah.
down one.
I went back and listened to it, and I was like, did he just accidentally, like, did he mean to say meters or something else? But
Yeah,
no,
that's what
it
I'm
was
wondering.
clear-
Yeah, Squarish, I
clear
didn't
as
see
day,
it, but
was
yeah, that
centimeter
makes
in the
sense.
audio.
I mean, even half a meter would be amazing.
It would.
Yeah, I still, if they said half a meter, I would be like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Half a centimeter
There's two
is like
planes that are flying
nothing.
next to
What
each other right
happened?
there.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, 5 millimeters. It's like it's like
One's a
it's sort of hard to
RV4,
comprehend that little tiny space.
and then
It's
the other
just
one's an
little
RV7.
Tiny, half a fingernail width.
Hey, RT.
For
Discovery,
over
up?
on
go
our
and
side of
throttle
the
up.
pond, it's what? It's like a fifth of an
Quarter of
inch.
an
It's
inch,
like
fifth of
0.2
an
inch, like
inch.
a quarter of an inch. It's like really small. So
Speaking of
anyway,
sizes,
Discovery, go and throttle up.
sizes.
Hey,
look at that.
Well,
Some
Alex, you
fancy
can't just say speaking of sizes and then not speak.
Well, I mean, yeah, speaking of sizes, you can see there are some fancy comparisons with other famous rockets, such as New Glenn. It's coming up soon. SLS, which already flew, and Falcon 9, you can see there, it's essentially just the same height as just the booster on Starship. It just goes to show how big of a rocket this is.
I think chat's going to come after you for that one. Is New Glenn famous? Is it infamous? Is it almost famous? Like it needs
It's
to
well
launch?
known.
I
Put
love
it that
that
way,
whole
right?
VAB in this picture always is just like
It
a
got
giant
buried.
quarter.
The most interesting thing is that you could fit a Starship stack in the VAB.
Oh, I wonder who
Yep.
would ever do that.
I mean, there's 4 bays.
Yeah, and I would do that if I had a Starship and the VAB. I would put a Starship in there.
I want to see mobile launch mounts, and I want to see Starships being put together in the VAB and then rolled out to 39A to launch.
But also, if you had a Big Ben, you could put Big Ben into the.
You could also put Big Ben into the VAB.
just saying.
Is that where we're going, or are you going to say you could put Big Ben into the Starship?
Looks like we got a
Honestly,
tower
that's-
event, dude.
that's
It
not
looks
tower vent.
like it looks like the OLM.
OLM
it's
vent
just
is
starting
on?
right now.
Oh, it
Look at that.
is.
On the left side.
All right, see that right there? So guys, they're moving around cryogenic propellants. That's what all this vape cloud stuff is happening off the booster. Yeah, that thing. See that thing right there. What they're doing here is they're moving around cryogenic propellants. To move around the cryogenic propellants, you got to cool the pipes down first. Because if you flow a really cold propellant through a really hot pipe, now keep in mind, it's not necessarily warm in Texas right now. I think it's like 20 C out there. That is not warm for Texas, first of all. But compared to the propellants, it's very warm. We're talking about a 200 degree difference here in Celsius. It's a lot. If you flow that cold propellant through a warm pipe, it's just gonna evaporate. It'll boil right off. See the tower vent right there? So what they do is they slow feed propellants into these lines to get them to chill down. That's exactly what's going on here. The tower vent being open and the OLM vent being open indicates that they're starting to chill down these lines. That's pretty much the last thing that you get to before they start fueling the vehicle. And fueling the vehicle should start within the hour, or not within the hour. It's going to start at T-minus 40 minutes. So that is a very good sign towards trending towards a launch. That's good. That's good stuff. Thanks for the bits, dude. Oh, it's Geeson. All right. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Because they don't have the guts. That's summer in the UK. Yeah, Pope. It gets like 45 C in Texas in the summertime. Like, It's hot, mate. It's very, very hot down there. So the recondenser system is on. That's what this thing is. And then we have OLM and tower vent. That is a very good sign towards trending towards fueling, which means they're up on the timeline. Means that we're on schedule here.
Based on the previous timing.
I'm here in Florida and the sun's already rising. Squarish, it's 6:48 a.m. in Massachusetts right now. Sun's already up, dude. I when I went to get coffee, the sun was already up. Because I'm way north and way east of Florida, right? Yeah, sun's already up here. The sun should be coming up there soon. Yep.
Countdowns for previous flights, we saw much later
Yeah, in the desert,
conditions
dude, like where
and
New
they
Shepard
ended up
launches, guys, that's
missing,
120F easily all day.
eventually confirmed
45,
that
50
these
C.
launches were being
Yeah,
delayed.
that's
and
what
it was
happens,
by
man.
a
It's Texas,
longer
baby.
amount of time.
Is this
Today,
happening in about an hour? An
it just
hour and
came out
11 minutes,
just a little
Schnoid.
bit
Yep.
later, like maybe
The
10, 15
WB-57 is now
later,
cruising at
perhaps
45,000
20 at
feet.
most.
You know
So
what?
that's why
I'm going to move
saying
that up there so I can
maybe
watch
we're
it.
gonna see that
Get rid of
sensor
flight
shift
radar. Get rid of
just a
that.
little bit into the window.
Yeah,
Again, we
baby.
don't have any confirmation from SpaceX,
Oof.
but this is what we can gather based on the
Ooh.
previous.
That's what's
screenshots that
launching
we've
right
seen
there.
Look at the vent
on
now.
activity.
That vent that was a little
Pretty
blowtorch
strong,
is
yeah.
a really, yeah, that's strong. And you can tell that's a high pressure vent. You see how fast, how energetically it's coming out. The other vapors that are sort of coming off, they're sort of like wafting or drifting away. But that, I say blowtorch, it's not.
You know what? I agree with Sirius here, Tessa. You know, I think you live in a country where people still talk like pirates. That's it's a little weird. Methuselah, you die at 50C. Yep. Guys, it's dry heat out there for what it's worth. Oh. Oh, that's the recondenser. Will Starship land in daytime? You know what, Linus? You're not the first one to ask that. I think the sun's gonna be going down where it's coming down. So we'll see. Hopefully a bunch of crap that doesn't get stuck on the camera like last time. Like the stuff that got stuck on the camera was Starship that got ablated away because of the heat shield. But
Wherever you're watching from, to see it in person, it is always a treat. I hope this thing goes for you. Thank you so much for the support so that we can keep sharing this with
hey,
everybody
Snake,
else. So here's
did
my
I
question
sleep well?
for
Sleep.
people. You're watching the stream right now. How many of you watching the stream
No.
are going to see this in person? How many people are in Brownsville, SPI, somewhere on the island, something like that? A lot of times we'll ask, "Oh, where are you watching from?" But I just want to hear.
Don't
from
go to the
people.
Middle East in the summer, dude. Me and Ernok Baron drove a truck with no air conditioning through the desert in June, out in the American Southwest, basically where the Wild West would be. We drove a truck through there, and it was 45 C. It was. We rolled down the windows, and I was having air blowing in on me to try and get the air moving to get all the heat off the equipment. It felt like a hairdryer was just blowing in my face. Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
It's
ask
it's not ideal, dude.
in just a bit.
It's
but,
really freaking hot.
my chat's scrolling pretty.
Do you start your YouTube stream later? The YouTube stream is already up, dude.
Adrian,
What was the time window again? They have a 30-minute launch window, Squarish. The launch window opens at 7 Central. It's currently 6 a.m. or 5:51 a.m. Central Time.
Slowly.
Yeah, see these vents? They started with a slow fill, and now they're fast filling. They're thermally conditioning the vents here. Because once again, you have super cold propellants, and it is Texas. It is warm. It's certainly a lot warmer than these propellants that are like minus 200 C. So you got to prime the lines. You got to get them primed, and you got to get them down to temperature. If you don't, you start flowing, the propellant will just boil off in the pipe, which is, they have liquid fuel engines attached to this. So gas going in the liquid fuel engines is not ideal. So you got to thermally condition these lines. When this vent closes, you'll start seeing frost go up on the vehicle. See, this vent over here is for the plumbing going up the tower, up the ship quick disconnect, SQD for short, and then into Starship. That one's for Starship. And then you can kind of see it in the background behind that thing. This one over here, it's kind of, once again, it's behind the recondenser vent. That one right there is for chilling the first stage. They fuel rocket stages from the bottom. Everyone does that. No one pours rocket propellants into a rocket. You said Texas. Is it Texas or Florida? Rogue Dumper, this one is going out of Boca Chica, Texas. So that's near Brownsville, Texas. The very southern tip of Texas. That's where SpaceX's test launch site is. No, it's not IFT. It's known as Flight 5. Sure.
There's something in the way. But I was coming over in 2020 and then COVID.
All this stuff, all this churning and bubbling is Mr. Coffee. Care for some? I always have my coffee when we launch Starship. You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir. No. All those vents, all these vents are for moving around propellants. Prabhakar, yeah, they're gonna try it. They're gonna try and catch that thing. You know, Jebediah Kerman willing. They'll try to catch it. Hey, FX, what's up, dude? You got me up at 4 a.m. Sorry. Prepare to fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir.
Nice.
I haven't seen a Falcon 9, which is there. So, you know, I'm hoping to be able to do a Florida trip.
Oh, sir, we call it Mr. Coffee. Care for some? Yes! I always have my coffee when I watch Radar.
Plenty of them over stream, obviously.
It's going to be impressive regardless of the outcome of the catch. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Where's your Tesla mug?
Early Falcon Heavy days was your stream watching those two boosters come down. It's one of my
I
favorite
don't
clips of all time.
want that.
Nice. We put that in. I made a little short about sonic booms. I don't know if they've played.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Oswald.
I made a
5-month resub. Prime sub for Primetime Starship. Yeah, baby.
Is a sonic boom. And, that
Bird mug.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Nasia, 67-month resub. Let's freaking go! Nice.
We use that in the sonic boom.
Ford mug. That's the American way. I love my Ferds. All right. Get away from me and my damn Ferds, boy. Yeah, chat. You see what that stands for? You see that stands for? That stands for first on race day. First on race day. Say it with me. First on race day. Don't you forget. Need a K-Truck mug?
Discovery,
Hey,
go at throttle
ETF Breeze with the Prime sub. Thank you. And then Flavia with another Prime sub. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. First to break. No. You mutter. I know you're a Chevy guy. I know reading is not, good for you. First on race day. FORD. No, I know it's tough. Gonna have to rub two of those Chevy brain cells together here to say that,
Yep.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
You guys are having a lot of trouble with this. It's okay. Keep huffing that copium. Maybe it'll change. First on race
Discovery,
day.
go at throttle up.
That's what 21-month resub. Thank you. Hey Zoran, good morning. Scam train. Woo! Woo!
Discovery,
You
go
know
at
what
throttle up.
Ford stands for, Tiger? Fix it again, Tony.
It's like a bit too close.
Hi Zol, what's up? If I got you a Z71 mug, would you? Nah. Nah, I'm good.
If you're not in time and you don't have a purpose to go there, they will turn you back around at the soft road block.
At the soft road block. That's like.
I don't
way
recall
out
Ford being on the
17
moon. I don't
miles
recall
up the road.
Ford being on the moon.
Out there. There's no other way. It's not like you can drive in that road.
You see Lord last on race day.
Starbase. So they put out the soft road block at the last.
Chat, never go full Chevy guy.
The last other road.
See, you see that? See all these people making fools of themselves in the chat? Never go full Chevy. Go full Chevy, man. Nobody ever goes full bow tie. Never go full bow tie, man.
They'll also let you buy if you smile real nice and you say that you own property.
Never go full bow tie. You never want to do that.
But I think
That's
for
why
the
we don't
public,
sell car stickers.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
What car is out in space first? Technically Chevrolet. Charles. The lunar reconnaissance vehicles from the Apollo program, Chevy designed them. General
Discovery,
Motors.
go at throttle up.
Do you still like Musk after all the lying from right-wing stuff, or do you separate company from the CEO? MS, without trying to stir the pot in chat, dude, I can separate people from actions, dude. I don't have any problems doing that. Like, look, man, I think a lot of
Discovery,
folks
throttle up.
nowadays have trouble understanding that good people can say bad things and bad people can say good things. You know what I mean? Dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm just here for space flight, man. I'm just here for space. That's all. Do I have opinions about what Elon says? Sure, absolutely. Who doesn't? But, you know, like the other thing, dude, I want to detach it here just because, you know,
Discovery, go
there's
at throttle
so
up.
much static, dude. There's so much static nowadays. Hey, look, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm your entertainment, man. You don't want to hear that preaching from me about whether I agree or disagree about
this is
that
space.
crap.
I'm in space.
You don't want none of that, dude. Let's just enjoy space, okay? You know? Ragfire, 4-month resub. Newell had a 23-month in there, and Newell gifted a sub to Beautiful Pain. Thank you. You know, we're here for space flight, man. That's really what it's all about, dude.
Discovery,
Who
go
won
at throttle
Bathurst
up.
again? I don't know. You know, like, dude, am I gonna sit here and say like people aren't? Some people.
this is space.
Some people.
I'm in space.
Hey, Mike gifted us up to Tron Weasley. Thank you very much. Chief had a 72-month in there. Audi accelerates under demonic influence. What?
This is space. I'm in space.
Rick with the 5 subs. Thank you. Look in Discord. Okay. MS, yeah, dude. You know, like I detach it, dude. I detach it completely. Like it's just you know. You got very nice. That's cool, FX. Nice. The SLS Lego. That's cool. I just try to like look, dude, do I have opinions about it? Yeah. Can good people say bad things? Yeah. Can bad people say good things? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. But what I don't try to do is try to put cram my opinions, except when it comes to spaceflight policy. That's my one exception. I don't tell you guys my opinions on things. You know why? People are here to learn. People are here to get educated about spaceflight. Once again, spaceflight policy is the one thing I'm like, let's say very passionate about telling you when it comes to opinions, but you don't need to know what I think about that stuff. I don't want to tell you nothing. Like I want people to have a good time when I'm in here. And I also want people to get pissed when we canceled Constellation because that was bull crap and you know it. Sorry. How long does it take to fuel the rocket? Well, actually, NSF brought up this fueling timeline there. About 50 minutes, give or take. Guys, I'm your entertainment, dude. I'm your entertainment. That's where it ends. Do I have opinions about what Elon says? Yeah. Are you gonna know them? Absolutely not. I like to have a good time here. I like to joke around. We have fun, but one thing that I try to stay very professional about is not sharing stuff like that, dude. You know, like we don't want to talk about that. No one's gonna come in here on no one wants to come into a stream and see this thing poised on the pad ready to go and hear me saying, well, I hate that he says this, or I like that he says that. Screw that, dude. We're here for space. I'm here to see that 350-ton booster get caught by that thing. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? That's why I stayed up all night. Go. Oh! You know? You just detach it, dude. Like, look, you can hate what Elon says, but you could still like this. This is cool, dude. Ain't nobody gonna say that it's not. I don't think anybody would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. Like, or you can agree with what he says. I don't really give a frick. And you can still like this. The point is that everybody likes this. That's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? And because I know that, because I'm aware of this, I don't like to jam opinions about it down your throat. Why do you want to hear that from me? You know? Screw that. We're not about that life. They got the license, Gaw? Yeah, they did get the license. The FAA granted them the license for Flight 5 and 6, dude. Oh, yeah, we got both of them. Well, I say we. I'm not SpaceX, but we collectively as spaceflight fans, you know? Yeah, guys, I've always tried to keep the stream out of that nonsense. We never want to get to that point.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
For more coffee.
Oh, thank you so much, Wormy. You're my hero. Oh. Tessa, we got both kinds. We got country and western flights. We got flight 5 and 6. You betting on flight 6 for the end of the year? Max, if this thing goes, sure. Sure, man. Senshi, they'll only put a hold on flight 6 if there's blatant public safety violations. If this thing comes back down on the pad and blows up, I don't think that, dude, that's where it was expected to do. That's what it was expected to do. I don't think that would violate public safety. If this thing came down out of its temporary flight restriction, then that's a little bit of a different story. We all saw what happened when Virgin Galactic flew out of their TFR. The FAA said, hey, it's me, your buddy, the FAA, you weren't supposed to do that. We're going to have to, you got a number. We got a phone number that you might want to call. So I think if the boosters follows its planned trajectory, I think we're good. You know, like it's all about endangerment to public safety. That's what the FAA is really all about. Yeah, man. Look, and Senshi, that's another thing, dude. While we were talking about it, dude, the static with the FAA is just that. It's static. Ignore it. The FAA ain't gonna budge on this, and Elon's clearly not gonna budge on that either. But somehow, the launch that was net November, we're 55 minutes out from, you know? See what I mean? There's like saber rattling, right? But clearly something's going on here where they got the go, you know? Cooler heads prevail. It always happens this way. This is what I was trying to tell everybody. Like throughout August, throughout September, people are like, oh, the FAA sucks, or oh, Elon sucks, or no, oh, the FAA sucks. And then, you know, those two kind of collide in my chat and they're like, you suck. No, you suck. No, you suck. And I'm just sitting here going, guys, that we're probably going to get a launch in October. You understand this, right? I said that in August. You know, I said that in August. We were talking about this when Starliner was still at the space station. Right? Did I not say that? Come on. Right? Like, am I right? Cooler heads prevail, dude. Everything sucks. No, you suck, King Crap. No, hey. I mean, sorry. I was kind of on a roll there. Hey, Joe, what's going on? Sorry, I asked. That's the thing. The memorandums that the FAA was putting on Starship were up to 60 days. They were up to 60 days, meaning if SpaceX met all the criteria before that, they could release that 60-day temporary hold. That's all. It was always it could be up to 60 days. Everyone missed that, except for my buddies at NSF. But everybody else missed that, you know? It's literally just paperwork to keep the government happy. They leave you alone if you do all the paperwork. Yeah, like I said, it's just static. Don't get caught up in the static, boys. Trust me on this one. Especially over the next 30 days, if you live in the U.S. You know what I'm talking about. No, I don't want to talk about it. Don't get caught up in it. We only got 30 more days of this nonsense, okay? Don't get caught up in it. Trust me on this one. You should vote. Absolutely. Should absolutely vote. I don't care if you go and vote, you pencil in Mickey Mouse. I don't give a frick. You should vote. And that's all I'm going to say. Not saying anything else about it. Let's enjoy some Starship, shall we? Yeah, Tessa, let's see where the WB-57 is.
Listen, Tranquility Base.
There it is.
The Eagle has landed.
Sorry, I cannot bean over some coffee. Burn, baby, burn.
Don't believe the hype. Exactly, dudes. Exactly. Just, yeah, pencil in Mickey Mouse if you want. I'm not sure what good that would do, but if you don't use your rights, you lose your rights. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's it. I don't want any more. None of that nonsense. All right. I don't want any more bull crap, especially from me. You know. I don't like Mickey Mouse's stance on copyright. All right, put in Donald Duck or something. I don't know, Goofy, Pluto, something. Put in me. Say EJ_. It'd probably be like, I don't know who that is, but yeah, whatever. Rabbit season. Duck season. I say it's duck season, and I say fire. What's that airplane? This is a NASA imaging plane. November 926 is a WB-57, okay? What this is a highly modified English Canberra bomber. It was originally a bomber. NASA modified these
Discovery,
bombers.
go
Actually, SNC did with NASA's guidance. Upgraded their engines, gave them wider wings, right? And put a PTZ camera on the nose. This thing is good for imaging stuff on the way up. There's a camera mounted on this thing, and the camera will shoot Starship flying up, which is super cool. Death, tier 375-month resub. Now it drops some bombastic footage. Absolutely. Why is one engine bigger than the other? It's not. It's not. That's just an optical illusion. Please. Oh, God. I got worried first. Please tell me that's an optical illusion. I will lose my mind if it's not. You know what? I'm going to stop looking at it. It's getting worse the more I look at it. Anyway, that's what a WB-57 is. It's not the tumor. No. Go. God, no.
More active.
Yeah.
And then turn off. And when
Went
it
for a
turns
drive.
off,
You got me a Tim's double-double. Oh, yeah, bud. You got yourself a Tim's double-double. Good for you. Good for you, man.
And that, according to
Not gonna lie,
SpaceX,
one looks
should
bigger.
happen at the
Shh, that's not happening. No, the engines are the same. They're the same. They have the same cowl. One's painted a different color. It's an optical illusion, okay? I know people that did the modifications. It's the same engine. Source, trust me, bro. Okay? I did build a WB-57 in Kerbal once. Take the bait. Hell no. No, Tessa. No, you suck. Everything you like is dumb. Okay? Including me. So, EJ, are you ready to stream the amazing launch of New Shepard today? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to happen in about an hour.
Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be
well,
great, Jazos. Are
well,
you
I
psyched
was
for the new
always
Shepard
gonna-
launch
we cannot
today? Or
point that out enough. I mean, he's always a person behind the scenes, but of course, a lot of these changes, these works that go into these streams, that's Kevin and, of course, Kevin's team. With Jay, with Carson, with Ryan.
Yep.
Oh.
The whole production team.
Yeah. Basically, as soon as I start to name
Let's go.
people, I'm already losing because I will forget somebody.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, big thanks to the folks in the field as well.
yes.
There was so much work in the field this time, and I couldn't be there myself the whole time. Usually I go out there a month in advance, and I'm out there for months. Dan, our guy
Yeah.
Dan.
Somebody on X said that New Shepard is a Coast Phase halftime show. Oh my goodness. When you drink motor oil, when you drink Ford, dude, you know the people at Blue, were like, they filed the flight plan for Sunday, right? Because that's what was open, right? You know that's what happened, and then somebody at Blue noted like, oh crap, I think, oh no, oh NASA, oh wait, hold on, Ryan the
At least I find
weatherman.
it interesting. Anyways, this is the live marine traffic map. Just bear in mind some of this data might be out of date by a few hours. So
Ooh, the
you know,
deep water at the last
SpaceX isn't looking at this and making range judgment calls based on this map. It just gives us a rough idea of what to look for because we don't. You know, NSF does not have access to the assets that SpaceX does. But something that I have noticed is if we look from Brownsville, which is just below Corpus Christi, Das, if you didn't know, all the way out here, we've got this thick band in the sea of nothing. And that thick band, I think, could have something to do with this, which is the launch notice to mariners. Now, this big band all the way from Brownsville, all the way down to the north of Cuba, around the Bahamas and the Florida Keys, this essentially tells mariners, people in boats, hey, there's a rocket launching, you probably shouldn't be here at the allotted time. So that's what I think could now start to be happening, is that this huge area here is now starting to be cleared out of boats because if something goes wrong, they could have a Starship landing on their heads.
Oh, hey, Joe.
We also have, on the other side of the world, the re-entry NOTAM. So we have one for Madagascar over here, one for Mauritius, and one for Australia, because we have 3 different countries in their native airspace, so they each need their own NOTAM, and this is going to be showing us where the ship will
Actually,
be re-entering.
dude,
so
he's really
pretty much
good.
the same as last time.
Ryan's doing a
It will
great job
begin
here.
re-entry just over Madagascar. If we get those wonderful onboard views via Starlink, we will, of course, be able to see the African continent, and then we will transition into the nighttime here. This is actually timed up live, approximately 60 minutes after the opening of the window. So you see this nighttime.
Okay, for what it's worth, dudes, for what it's worth, that's not
Discovery,
like
go and throttle
one
up.
side of Ryan's head is buzzed and the other side isn't. That's a mohawk, dudes, just in case anybody was wondering, all right? You're like, wow, what is it? What's like, did he shave half his head? No. It's a mohawk. It's just not spiked right now. Just thought I'd let you know. Source, I know Ryan.
We also have the WB-57, which is almost at Starbase now. It's just, there's Corpus Christi DAS, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
it's
Scotland,
just
I
continuing
figured you'd
down
appreciate
towards
that.
Brownsville at the
Discovery,
moment,
go and throttle up.
and it's continuing there. If it conducts the
Yeah,
same
no.
sort of similar flight,
Ryan has the most
English,
metal
if it conducts
mohawk
a similar
ever.
flight profile to flight
Yeah, it's pretty
3
rad. It's just not
and the
spiked.
flights before,
Just in case anybody
we
was
should
wondering.
expect it to do some racetrack patterns over the launch pad, but as it awaits T0. And finally, one more thing.
Lies, we know it's a half
before we
mullet.
predicted it by now. Let's look at some clouds. It is incredibly clear over the Gulf of Mexico. We can see, from here, if you draw a
Oh my god.
and then from the south
That's
of Texas
awesome.
across, this entire part of the Gulf of Mexico right here is cloud free. I can't believe I'm saying that. We've got a little bit of cloud coming up here just south of the Mississippi-Alabama border, and we've got a little bit of cloud here just off the coast of the Florida Keys, a little bit here to the north of the Yucatan Peninsula, but the rest of it is just, and it's just refreshed, the rest of it completely clear. And I mean, I think this is the last couple of hours time-lapsed up to now, so you'll keep seeing it looping over and over. The clouds aren't going anywhere. They're staying stationary. We could have a very beautiful launch on our hands.
I fear that you're going to leave us for like the
cos-
Weather Channel or something.
Yeah.
He's cosplaying the camera. Stop.
We would
Oh
just
my
tell
God.
Ryan, hey, do you want to do like these, like maps, and you give us an insight, and then he just goes. And he goes.
That was actually super good from Ryan. Like, oh, okay. Oh, look, a parking lot sale at Harbor Freight.
Ryan's there waving at the clouds and
Don't
stuff
ruin
like
it,
that.
Das.
Well, come on, seriously. I've been on the internet before.
I
Really
would
good,
even
man.
think
Who
I've
loves
invested
it?
thousands of pounds in some cool LED screen or something. It's not. This isn't a green mattress I've strapped over my backdrop. Deary me.
You would never do that. It's crazy.
Oh, it is really cool, Ryan. Thank you for putting so much work into that. One of the big things that we do is we
Mobile
just
freight.
give people opportunities to do stuff like this. We've got some resources, we've got opportunity, and the
Really,
whole team
Nicori?
comes
Okay.
together. And a lot of what we do is just people doing stuff they think is cool.
You don't
I
have
think
YouTube?
cameras are cool.
Oh, I do, 619. It's just not logged in on this computer. I don't log in stuff on the main computer. It's on the outside computer, so yeah, I haven't had to worry about this so much because we haven't watched many rocket launches on YouTube. They're mostly on X, which we're I don't get those ads. Just saying. Just putting it out there. All right.
That was so good. So we're seeing on the left the OLM vent still going. It's approaching that sort of waterfall mode. On the right hand side, as you can see, that tower vent has completely stopped. This is what we expect. This is the behavior that we've seen in the past, where it completely stops and then it comes back. And not only it just comes back, but it also
Super
comes back,
Heavy
like,
got smart
much
pack.
more active. And
Oh yeah. Super Heavy's got some smart pack. It's got smart catch. All right. So what the boost is gonna do is it's gonna go really wicked far up into space, and it's gonna come right back down, and those big chopsticks are gonna catch it Karate Kid style. When they catch it, it's got smart catch, and then from there they're gonna take the smart catch and they're gonna put it back on the transport stand, and then the transport stand they're gonna take back to the build site. Is that what you wanted to hear? Is that what you wanted to hear? You wanted to hear the native tongue? Is that what you wanted? Are you happy now? It's catching time. Perfect. All right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You
SpaceX
got it.
will
I'm not
have
doing it again.
any information.
I'm
of
not
what
doing it
is,
again,
the
man.
new,
Sunrise.
launch target.
Droopy, sunrise for Texas here is
Discovery, go and throttle up.
7:30, and they're scheduled to send it at about 7 o'clock. Given the countdown here. We'll see. There's a prediction poll up. Oh, no. You ain't getting that Starship in there. Of course they're getting it. Of course they're catching that Starship. But they're not going to catch the Starship. They're going to catch the booster. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, killer? Freaking kid. What do you need? You need more classes? Why don't you go over to Cambridge where they're wicked smart? Start asking them questions, pal.
Right.
I'm going to be over at Duncan.
Marcus,
I
wanna
freaking
be
love
respectful
Duncan,
of your
guy.
time. It's fantastic that you were able to join us and hang
I've been out here
together
since
as
2
we
a.m.
stand by
My
for the
body
fifth
is
flight
ready.
of
What's up,
Starship.
95? How
Are
you
we
doing?
coming up on the time where you must bid us adieu?
Yeah, that's it. Look, it's been amazing being here and so welcoming.
About
Love you all the
7:30,
time, and the
Flembo.
audience just loves it when we all get together and chat about this stuff. So yeah, look, fingers crossed for this launch. It's going to be amazing.
Driving to work in your
Uh,
Ford.
and,
There you go, Pat.
Yeah, I'd love before I head off. I'd love to see everybody's bets. Tower catch. And abort just off.
What
the
time
tower
did fueling
catch.
start?
Will it even get that far?
Fueling started
Let
at
me know
T
if-
minus
because it's going to
50,
be amazing
50
to find
minutes.
out.
So we're 9
Yeah,
minutes
look,
into
again,
fueling
thanks
thus far.
thanks for having me on, guys. Amazing. I love this community. Best community I've ever been involved in my whole life. It's such a pleasure every single time. So, yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, we'll do all this again. Hopefully with Flight 6. You know, if they're going to not destroy anything today, we could see Flight 6 happen quite quickly. So we'll see how we go.
One way to find out. Folks, it's Marcus. Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, it's Marcus House. You're not Marcus House. It's Marcus House over there. Marcus, you make such fantastic videos. You keep people up to date on what's going on in space news and Starship.
Discovery,
We're
go
at
and
regular
throttle up.
basis, weekly basis on YouTube. I guess I could say here on YouTube. Let's get some links to Marcus's channel in the chat. If
He
the
made a
mods
hype
can
song.
hand that,
I'm
you
not-
don't want to miss
I
this
have to
coverage.
pre-screen
It's always
songs,
a pleasure
Fun.
having you here on the
EJ
stream, Marcus.
Do,
Discovery,
a
go and
Bill
throttle up.
Nelson.
Always
My
amazing,
Fuber
always amazing.
had
Let's
the
hope.
subscription in there, and when he did it, he did a Prime subscription and got the Prime sub to this stream. The proof is in the pudding or the notifier. Do Bill Burr? Bill Burr just sounds normal to me, Hermione. I can't do an impression of him. They have not started fueling yet. That was per the original timeline. Once again, it still looks like, yeah. I'm sorry, I should have said that better. Fueling should have started at 52 past, but I speculated a little bit earlier that they're targeting the end of the window here. Walt Disney.
Oh, this is space. I'm in
Hey,
space.
Fabian, 5 subs. Thank you. Official stream start 10 minutes forward. Yeah, it looks like they pushed a little bit. They got 30 minutes of leeway time here. Think it, dream it, do it. I don't think Walt Disney said that, Hawks. Oh. Hype video. NSF hype video. Get ready. History is about to be made with Starship Flight 5. Launching today. Do we have a tweet from SpaceX? It is this way. Yeah, see, NSF adjusted the timeline there, dudes. It's time to attempt catch. Are you ready?
Well, now I know what we were going to play.
Yeah. That was cool.
I had not seen that before. I really hope that ends up on the channel as a separate video somewhere.
Yeah.
Chat seems
This autumn, South Texas will never be the same. In a world where rockets are thrown away into the ocean, one company will prevail. Sorry. In a world where our rocket was underwater, one man, the desire to not have that happen. Did you see the little web game someone made about catching
Discovery,
the booster
go
on the
and throttle
tower?
up.
Yeah, Mechazilla.io. Yeah, I saw it. Made with iMovie. He had one chance, and his chance was to fight back. Listen to me. These people are coming for my electric cars. You have to get out of here. They're trying to kill you. Sorry, that's a Pablo Francisco sketch that I'm parsing with SpaceX and Tesla. It works. It's fine. One man, one desire. Knock it off. They went too far. We went too far. They know too much. They know too much. Those are my lines. Those are his lines. That's a good bit, man, from him. Sorry. Thoughts on the Optimus robots? Use them to set up a Mars base while humans aren't there, Schnoid. Those are my thoughts. EJ announcer voice is what they are going to use for the next SpaceX promo. Not gonna lie, you have a trailer voice. Did you just call me trailer trash? Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm getting hyped. I'm just getting hyped. It's getting a little out of hand. That escalated quickly. You'd probably be right. In theaters soon. You guys didn't know I could do that, did you? Paid for by the word, not second. SpaceX is go for hamsters. Go for hamsters. Go for gerbils. No, they're go for prop load. They need to get Peter Cullen. They need EJ to get Peter. They need Peter Cullen to voice the Optimus bots. I agree. I agree with that. EJ is Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is Elon Musk. Parrot loading confirmed. Yep. New voiceover, career unlocked. You know what? Maybe I should tell them to. I should tell the NSF guys that I can do that. I'm trying to let them know subtly that I can do VO work. I'm trying to let them know. I think they got. I think they got the point. We need EJ narrating NSF videos.
Discovery,
Admiral
go and
Bjorn,
throttle up.
Tier 1, 61-month resub. Great time to launch on the weekend. There you go, Alex. Sorry, I didn't mean to read that in the movie voice, but it happened. When I think EJ, I think subtle. Narrate the daily. Romance, desire. I'm having too much fun with this. I'm sorry. If you're looking for a professional commentary, I mean, I can do that, but I don't do that. I don't do that here. We're just having a good time. We're a rocket ship on their way to Mars. This is the footage of a roof. Professional here? Yeah. That man is sitting on a medicine ball. or not. Maybe it's a bollard. I don't know.
Outpost, which is just about 4 miles
Discovery, go
away
and throttle up.
from the
Hey,
launch
Thorn,
pad. And
80
they
month
sell tickets,
resub.
right? That's the business. You
Good morning and
have
fresh
a way,
pots,
like,
dude. I've already been
tour
to Dunkin',
guide
man.
sort of thing. They get you over there. They get you like refreshments and stuff like that. They have places to
That
stay.
movie voice
But the
is not
folks
good.
over here
or your
at the
voice in
Rocket Ranch
general.
Outpost will be watching the launch as well. It looks like there's little cars on the road over there, too.
But look,
This-
that's fairly close.
Discovery,
that
go and
is.
throttle up.
You know, this camera is perfect for what I'm about to
Giant
say.
diaper.
You look
Okay.
at the distance. Oh, I
Rose.
wanted to do it with this.
Rest
view.
of the stream as movie voice guy. No,
That's
I'm
how
good,
the
thank
band has
you.
come back, and I said, it's gonna be more
Did you
powerful
just
than
do a Herbie
the
Hancock? Yeah, because they were moving the camera. Roundabout, you ever see the music video for that song? It's weird, dude. This is a weird video. This is a weird one. Hey, Panto, what's going on? Mustache Miner, 66 months. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There we go. But yeah, we are in the right track.
Are you sure that the SpaceX stream goes live in about an hour? Well, less than an hour now. But yeah, no. Unless it's on the SpaceX actual channel. No. 4 miles from Starship must be loud. Yes, it will. Someone get EJ some honey and lemon tea so he can keep his voice up. Don't worry, Rose. Don't worry. I'm a professional moron on the internet. I can do this for extremely long periods of time. The problem is talking like this the entire time.
I don't know if we can get a link to Rocket Ranch in chat over there, but they are fantastic folks. If you're looking
Look at Zach flexing. Wait, what?
Watch as close as you can get legally. I saw it just go through chat. There you go. Exclamation point.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
That's so good, dude. I love Zach. Zach's the best, dude. Hell yeah. Look at the illuminated bed, though. Nice. Hotbox, 42-month resub. 42. Don't forget to bring a towel.
I will start to call that OLM band starting to look more waterfally. I guess is the expression. Yeah, because in 20 minutes we're gonna have that liquid oxygen load onto the booster that starts at the T-34 minute and 3 second mark. It's a lot later than we've been used to, and I believe what they're doing is they're trying to use the ground systems to first get a lot of the propellant loaded onto the ship. The ship has about a third of the propellant load capacity of the booster. So if you can get through a bunch of that, then you can concentrate a bunch of your ground systems, so to
You're
speak,
gonna
on
lose your
just
voice.
the booster, which
that
has
ship's already.
considerably
That's already gonna
more
happen.
propellant, right? I believe
not
it is
worried.
close to 3,400
There
tons
seems to be a
of
plane
propellant.
circling the
and then the ship
exclusion
has,
zone, not the
1,200.
WB-57.
So
All right, what do we
it's
got?
a lot more.
That seriously does look like a waterfall. Like we talked earlier about how that vent on the side of the OLM, it's the left-hand camera, y'all. We use all these terms. We say like OLM and this, that, and the other. The OLM is the mount that the rocket sort of sits on. You can see it there in the left-hand camera. And that big waterfall coming off the side of that, that's, we call it the waterfall vent. It's the OLM vent, but it's in waterfall mode right now. And Alex, what is actually waterfalling out of that? It's not water.
Yeah, that is not water. That is actually gaseous oxygen. So one of the things that
Gox.
happens is that they need to load liquid oxygen onto the booster, right? And also liquid methane.
I think
As
that
we were mentioning before, these liquids
that
are
might be
very,
just
very
be a
cold.
spectator, dude.
And so they flow these, and that allows them.
They're a
to
little bit behind on the
condition
timelines,
to
Alucard,
cool
but we
down
should be
those
okay.
lines to prepare for the liquid oxygen and liquid methane load. The liquid methane and the liquid oxygen, as they flow through that and they cool the line, they get hot. Of course, they warm up, they turn gas. The methane is reclaimed, and the oxygen is
Range
is
checkouts.
not
That plane
overwhelmed
is
with the
hired by
oxygen.
SpaceX,
We
same
have a bunch
company
of it
that
in the air,
owns the
of
old
course,
There's
OV-10
something
to
Bronco.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. But
okay.
obviously with
There you
methane,
go. So yeah,
you know,
that's not a
pollutants
that's
and things like
SpaceX.
that,
It's a
you don't
contracted
want
plane.
that to run away as easy. And so that is what they do. A lot of
Holy
people have
moly,
mentioned in
SpaceX with
chat
the.
that
Do
it's
you even
nitrogen.
vape?
The
Do you even
problem
vape,
with
bro?
flowing nitrogen, and this is a thing that I will want to address, is that the reason why they're not flowing nitrogen is because there's only one single line. you could, in theory, try to design this in such a way that there's like an extra.
Can you talk about the mods to the heat shields around the control surfaces that burned up during flight? Yeah, roundabout they put in a blader behind the tile so they don't get plasma burn through, just in case the tiles don't work how they expect. So I don't know what type of a blader they're using. If I had to guess, this is a huge guess. I have no clue, dudes. This is just a guess from me. I can't stress that enough. I'm guessing it's some...
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
What if the tower launched and then Starship caught it? That wouldn't be on my 2024 bingo card.
That wasn't my guess. It's probably pica. It's probably a pica ablator, phenolic impregnated carbon ablator, like Dragon's heat shield. But also, that wasn't my guess. That's not what I was gonna say. But also, I mean, maybe. How far can a plane fare near the rocket launching? Like quarter mile away? Will it get vibrations? Yeah, of course it will, MS. Yep. Did they upgrade the engines this time? I don't think this one has Raptor 3s on it, 172. Can you explain to me what the story behind the when hop thing? That's an NSF meme, Paul. People were always in anticipation of Starhopper. Excuse me, when hop. So many people asked it in chat that it got, when hop. They kept asking NSF when it was gonna hop, and we didn't know, so people kept asking when hop, so it became a meme. It's pretty funny, actually. Now that's just kind of the slang term for when's the next Starship flight. Excuse me, when hop? In the future, will they also catch the ship, or will it land like Falcon? See, Rick, we don't really know, dude. We don't really know. Don't forget corn. Corn is very interesting. We don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that they're gonna want to catch Starship, but also for an interim solution, I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least some low Earth orbit access starships revert to that flip landing leg design that they had. Just to get one back. But then again, if they can catch super heavy, they could catch a Starship. But also at the same time, catching super heavy is the most important part. I think SpaceX can afford to expend 6 Raptors and use kind of a expendable Starship while they're dialing in their reentry and stuff. I think they can afford to do that. What I don't think they can afford is to expend a super heavy every time. I think that catching that first stage is more important at this point.
The Bills.
If you can catch a wrench, you can catch a ball.
Giving us money and then telling us...
Aren't the towers facing a wrong direction for a ship catch? Mutter, yeah, technically, but you got to understand what you're asking is like saying, oh, well, the shuttle was supposed to land on a runway, and it wasn't. The runways don't go in the direction of the ground track. Well, yeah, it can just turn. The shuttle can just turn into a heading alignment. I don't really see why Starship can't do the same thing.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Dude, it could even like if the tower's facing this way, hold on. If the tower is facing, like, say it needs to be caught like this, right? Like facing you guys. So the tower is facing towards me, right? Starship could come in, right? It could actually, Starship, it would be caught this way if the tower's facing towards me. What's stopping it when it's coming to do the belly flop to just going like this and then flipping around and landing? Or using the flaps, right? Like, here, full screen me. So you can create effective yaw moment with this if you let the front right flap down and you let the rear flap down like this. see this one and this one right here are down, that'll create yaw. So this thing could actually come in, fly around, and then do its landing burn. It can fly. Well, I would say fall with style, to be 100% real. It flies about as good as the space shuttle does, to be honest. But you get the idea. Didn't they already do a 180-degree yaw during the hop test? Yeah, I mean, this thing, it could basically come down over the pad and do this, turn around, and then land. I don't see why it couldn't. Why aren't you demonstrating with the Starship plushie? Because this is cooler. And look, the wings actually flippity-floppity. See, like, you can create effective yaw moment by lowering this one and then lowering the back one on the other side. So you have your port bow and starboard aft thruster up, and then vice versa down, and you could, this thing will make it go like that. It'll turn it. We actually proved that works in KSP. Not that KSP is an analog for how the thing actually flies, but you get the idea. Hey, Ferrero, what's going on? Greg with the 18-month resub. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ferrero, it's been a minute. How are you? Flippity floppery is the official engineering term for what flaperons do. Ship prop load is underway. Confirmation. Good.
Get a real stream? I mean, I guess it is.
I would say it's fairly real.
It's pretty real. It's feeling like it's getting pretty real.
Absolutely.
But anyways, be on the lookout for all the fake streams and these named SpaceX. SpaceX doesn't stream on YouTube. We do stream on YouTube, so this is a legitimate place.
I have permission to restream this, just in case anybody's wondering. I work for NSF. Part of my contract is that I can restream stuff, so restream live streams, not necessarily videos, but that's another story.
Started on Starship, and you know what? We should probably figure out what else we're gonna be.
What are they trying to
seeing here in
achieve
the
with
next
this
few
launch?
minutes.
Bruce, another good Starship entry, descent, and landing test, but the big one is that they're trying to catch the first stage.
Transfer lines being prepared for propellant load, SpaceX's flight director will poll operators whether to go ahead with the propellant load sequence. This propellant load sequence will be very similar to the previous two flights, with the ship being
Why isn't he
loaded
watching
first,
on X, the
followed by the
everything app?
Super Heavy booster. Also for each vehicle,
Yes.
methane load will begin first and will be followed by liquid oxygen load a few minutes later. The timing of these events, while largely similar, has been tweaked a bit for Flight 5 compared to Flight 4. The ship's fuel load will now start at T-minus 49 minutes and 50
At least he has
seconds,
Starship
while the ship's
earrings.
liquid oxygen load will
That's
start
awesome,
at T-minus
dude.
48 minutes and 40 seconds. This is 50 seconds and 100 seconds earlier, respectively. For the Super Heavy booster, the fuel load will begin at T-minus 40 minutes and 40 seconds. This is 40 seconds earlier than for Flight 4, but the liquid oxygen load will actually start later in the count than for Flight 4 by almost 3 minutes, starting at T-minus 34 minutes and 3 seconds in the count. Once propellant load has started into each of the main tanks of the rocket, frost will start to accumulate on the outside walls, which always helps with following the status and progress of this process. As the tanks are filled, vents at the top of them will activate from time to time to keep pressures in check. This is because the inert gas that once was inside of them will have less and less room available as the propellant load continues. This increases the tank pressure, and obviously nobody wants to find out what happens if that's left uncontrolled. At T-minus 19 minutes and 40 seconds, the Raptor engines will begin chill down on both vehicles, conditioning them for ignition and flight operations. Around this time in the count, the ship's header tanks will also start filling with propellants. This will result in even more venting from the ship, but this time from the nose cone. After loading over 4,500 tons of propellants across all 6 of Starship's tanks in less than 50 minutes, the propellant load sequence will end, wrapping up first on the ship at T-minus 3 minutes and 20 seconds, followed by the booster 30 seconds later. It's in these final minutes of the count when other events take place as well, such as the release of the hold-down clamps on the launch mount, the configuration of the onboard computers for flight, and the arming of the automated flight termination system. SpaceX has an optional point in the count at T-minus 40 seconds where the clock could be paused for about 15 minutes if teams were to need some extra time or if the vehicle and ground computers were to detect an issue before proceeding with the launch. Since it is optional, SpaceX could decide to not use it and just keep counting down. We're always hoping that that's the case on all launch attempts. At T-minus 30 seconds, the team will give their final go for launch. The detonation and suppression system will also activate on the launch mount, clearing all gaseous methane from the area underneath the engines ahead of Raptor ignition. At T-minus 10 seconds, the flame deflector and water deluge system will be activated to protect the ground underneath the launch mount from the energy produced by the engines. Then, the Raptor engines will ignite at T-minus 3 seconds in a staggered sequence. First, the 13 center engines will ignite, followed by 15 of the 20 outer engines, with the last 5 outer engines following shortly after that. But the Raptor engines won't be started at full power so that the rocket doesn't immediately take off. If all engine health checks are cleared and all launch commit criteria are met, the rocket will command throttle up at T0 and the rocket will start to lift off about 2 seconds later. From then on, excitement is guaranteed.
Where the glasses? Lemon, I haven't worn.
Alicia is fantastic. That's
Glasses
Alicia
on
Siegel.
stream
She
a long
does
time.
our weekly This Week in Space Flight.
That's a frost
Yes.
line.
There
Oh,
it
it's a
is.
frost
Yeah,
line.
That's right.
Well, I was
Scheduling.
singing Alicia's praises, but a frost line is cool too.
Quite cool, actually. Yeah, that's the frost.
Didn't.
That's a frost line on the liquid oxygen tank of the ship. And we will basically, this will be now in a matter of seconds that we will see all tanks appearing the frost line because, well, they're loading this quite fast and they're just, if they're going for it, 41 minutes away from a launch. So this will move quite heavily. And once again, this is almost 5,000 tons of propellant that they are loading in 50 minutes or so.
Does everybody see it? Does everybody see the white line there? That's literally the humidity in the South Texas atmosphere freezing onto the side of the stainless steel Starship. It's like a cold drink. You get a cold drink, especially if you have like a metal container or something, a metal cup or something, and you got your ice cold beverage.
Booster methane loading has started.
You get condensation on the outside. The propellants in the rocket are so cold it actually freezes the atmosphere into ice on the outside. And so this is
Balancing
a proxy. It's the way that you can sort of see inside the ship right
Balancing
now. The ship
audio.
up there. Because the higher that frost line goes, the higher the fuel has gone. Because it's going to be able to get cold enough to freeze the humidity in the atmosphere on the. Look,
Yes,
look at how
RJ.
much it's grown just since I've been talking.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Watch
And
for
that's-
that to keep going
Yeah,
up.
you can
and that's the
actually
slow
see
fill. They will
them
later
filling the
move
fuel
even
up.
faster.
Yep. Hey, let me say thanks to some folks real quick.
Well, that's
I
a
got
LOX tank, but you get the
super
idea.
chat from Sony Namase, I think that is. And it was their first super chat they've done on a stream, on a live stream, actually. Sony, thank you so much for the support.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, guys. You're always on the biggest screen. And then also another one real quick. I think these were Australian dollars from True North.
Dollary
Thanks
days.
for the amazing coverage. Let's go for air quotes, the catch.
The catch, full stop.
Is it air quotes if they typed them?
The catch.
Whatever. We made the air quotes out loud, out in the air with our fingers when we said air quotes. But
Yep.
True North, thank you so much. 80 Australian dollars there supporting the show.
Why LOX and not RP1 nachos? So liquid oxygen is your oxidizer. You wouldn't want to swap that out with RP1. RP1 is liquid fuel. What Starship is using is liquid methane and liquid oxygen. If anything, you'd be swapping RP1 out with your methane. But here's the thing. Starship wouldn't work very well if you swapped it out with RP1. The reason why is because, well, one, Raptors aren't engineered for that. But say you could. Raptors could run off RP1 and liquid oxygen, right? You're not going to be able to get the specific impulse out of kerosene to be able to get Starship into orbit. Methane is a little less energetic reaction, all right? So it swaps energy release with efficiency. So you get a little bit less characteristic energy out of methane, but it's more efficient. So you get higher specific impulse. If you swapped Starship to kerosene, believe it or not, you would lose payload capacity despite having more characteristic energy, interestingly enough. Yep. With that being said, Nachos, there are some propellants out there that work well as liquid fuel or as oxidizer. Hydrogen peroxide can be used as either one. Believe it or not. You can use hydrogen peroxide as a liquid fuel, and you could use it as an oxidizer. Not both. It has to be combined with something else that's not H2O2. But you could use it for either one. Hydrogen peroxide in rocket science over different rockets has been either used as an oxidizer or as a liquid fuel. Oh yeah, that's a thing, dude. Hey, PCT, 72-month resub in Bastardo with the 18 months. Thank you very much.
You like
Milo, no better birthday present than a Starship launching catch attempt. Well, happy birthday, man.
But do you know when Starship is launching?
But don't
Yeah,
panic.
right. We should have brought him in so they could watch the stream. We're like, did you see this ship? This Mars rocket that's launching from Texas today?
Ooh,
Hey,
look at that.
real
Thank you
quick,
for the explanation. Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Another first super chat.
So, guys, once again, these vents are kind of indicating your flow rate here. So, once again, you see that the OLM vent is closed and the tower vent is closed. They're fast filling. They've gone into fast fill mode. Basically, when this vent was on over here, they were chilling down the lines to make sure that the lines were at the right temperature to move the cold propellants around, right?
This is space. I'm in space.
Cactus Jack, give the sub to Brindy68. Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the support. So now that those vents are closed, the lines are all chilled and you can start moving propellants fast.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah.
I'm mostly sure that it.
Yeah,
that
that
it's
sucks,
probably,
Joe.
You know, for all
Привет,
the
Чинара.
series
Как
where we are
дела?
covering these you know, like full stack testing or whatever. We're focused on other kinds of things, right, going on. So it's very easy to forget from time to time. But it tends to
Maybe the
be
winds
like that.
too.
Yeah,
like the winds
and,
aren't.
and also the wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Winter tries
hopefully
to
we got a
break
good day
the
today.
flow.
Yep.
You have,
Hopefully we
heavier
get
wind,
some
they
flight
break
here.
this flow of the stream.
Давай,
and,
давай.
Of course, basically no wind
Пошли.
today is present.
Давай.
So
It's just continuing its course.
Поехали,
It's
let's
just
go.
off in that
we are also
That
seeing
just
more
looks
and more
cool.
light, by the way. Like
Yeah.
depending on the camera, you can look at that.
Bumblebee
It's
Tuna.
Clear signs
Hi there,
of
nice to see you.
daylight now on
Bumblebee
this
Tuna.
camera.
Bumblebee
The cameras
Tuna.
are going to get better and better. The higher the sun comes up, the more light we get, the better this is. Oh, look at that one. So this is actually
Sun's
looking
coming
out
up.
to the east right
Look
now.
at
This is
that
from our highways and
beautiful
looking out to
dawn
the east.
color
You can see the
gradient
tower,
there.
The chopsticks spread wide open up there in the catch position. Look at the top of the chopsticks.
Something
You see
like
the
that,
catch
Mishu.
rail
Yep.
we're up.
Look at, wow.
Here's the wider shot even.
It's gonna be a gorgeous launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
How big is
I'm
the
not-
chance
I'm
to
not
see a
having
huge
heavy
fireball
feelings about
today?
this.
It's not out of the realm of
Big,
possibility,
which
Bass.
Yeah. Like imagine having
It,
like
it could happen.
40 amazing
I really
pictures.
don't want it to happen, but I'm not gonna lie. That'd be
Yep,
pretty rad
yep.
to see. It'd be pretty metal, but I also
Yeah, the
really don't
beauty
want
of
that to
vents. I
happen.
see a bunch of people talking about no catch attempt. Apparently, some people coming through trying to troll or give bad information, maybe from other worse information
Yeah.
streams. We haven't seen any official information from SpaceX saying that they have aborted the catch attempt. As far as all the official
I think they'll catch it,
information
Violent.
goes right now, they're still full tilt towards not only the launch but also a catch attempt. So,
guys-
this is such a huge problem.
Once Das is not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. It's really hard to get the right information out there. You know, it's just the information is disseminated so fast, especially space stuff. This is why I was saying a little bit earlier, guys, don't get caught up in the static. Don't get caught up in the static. There's a lot of static. It's tough to isolate the background noise. If you're a radio astronomer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it's tough to isolate all the background noise out but my best advice for that is go right to the source. Like if I say, oh, SpaceX says they're going to do this and you want to know where I got that info from, ask me for a source. I'll give you it every time. Because unless I'm speaking from opinion or I say that I'm guessing, I usually work off of official information to get you guys what you need to know. How fast will the chopsticks close? Pretty fast, Cajun. They just had to make this more insane than Test 4. How hard could it be? Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Why is there a 12-minute T difference between the SpaceX stream and the NSF stream? Because this is the T0 time, and SpaceX's stream glitched is the SpaceX stream start time. SpaceX is live. SpaceX is live. Okay, we're going to switch over from our buddies over at NSF and switch to the official SpaceX cast on X, the Everything app. Here we go. Here we go, dudes. Are you ready? Are you ready for
Discovery,
the
go at
ultimate
throttle up.
ride experience? SpaceX, Starship, Texas, all rolled into one for the ultimate thrill ride. I can't keep doing that, man. I can't keep doing that. I can't keep doing it. It's so bad for you. It's so bad for your voice. Let's freaking go. Proceeds to keep doing it. Get verticated. Whoa, dude. Let's go. Hit that funky bass. Hit that funky bass. Drop the bass. I'm good, Wormy. Thank you. Drop the bass. Drop the bass. Dude, that's so damn cool. Oh my gosh, this is so sick, man. Dude, it hasn't even launched yet. They haven't even started yet. I'm getting fired up. I don't know about you guys. I'm awake. This is better than a cup of coffee, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's not good, but hey, whatever. Hopefully we don't see that today, right? Send it.
It is 6:54 a.m. in Starbase, Texas, a gorgeous sunrise, and Starship is targeting liftoff in just 30 minutes and 18 seconds from now at 7:25 a.m. Central Time. As you can see, it is a beautiful day in South Texas
Dream
for
team.
the 5th flight test of Starship. Good morning, Star people. I'm Kate Tice.
And I'm Jesse Anderson, and we are joining you live from SpaceX Hawthorne with a great big crowd here this morning. It's been roughly 4 months since our last Starship flight, and we've got a big morning ahead of us.
Flight 5, has a few primary objectives.
That's what
and
they're going to
one
do. See the
big
arms up at the
first.
top?
We
They're going
may
to try to
be
grab it,
attempting
man.
to catch the super heavy
Listen.
booster. The teams at Starbase have been hard at work around the clock upgrading hardware across the entire tower with focus on the chopsticks, the two mechanical arms that will reach out and catch the returning booster. We're only going to attempt the catch if everything on the booster and tower checks out after launch, but either way, excitement is definitely guaranteed.
Definitely. Today's Starship features a completely reworked heat shield with stronger tiles and a secondary layer, which is an extra layer of protection for the ship that will protect from any of the missing, that will help protect if there's any missing or damaged tiles. Now, not only did we replace the entire heat shield with our newest generation of stronger tiles for today's flight, we'll also be flying a handful of aluminum tiles that are there to help the team understand the thermodynamic environment during re-entry. If you were with us for Flight 4, you'll know how hard those heat shield tiles worked during the ship's re-entry.
Did they ever? As you can see there, they worked incredibly hard. This big heat shield rework that we're talking about promises to increase the likelihood of Starship being better protected during controlled re-entry as it heads towards its flip maneuver and landing burn for a soft splashdown on target in the Indian Ocean, just like we did in Flight 4.
They're not ready
we'll
for it
have
to
to
go
wait
full
and
orbital,
see.
Charles.
Keep your fingers
Give it some
crossed,
time,
but
though.
we may have some new views in store for you today as well.
Right, like all test flights, we want to learn as much as possible, and views of Starship during all phases of flight help us to keep improving the vehicle for recovery and reuse.
Now, thinking forward to when Starship is flying regularly, it will take the heaviest payloads to space, land humans on the moon again after more than half a century, and ultimately fly people further into space than ever before. And getting there will require us to rapidly iterate and fly often, which is why we're working so hard to scale operations at Starbase.
Yeah, the faster that we learn now, the faster we can improve and evolve Starship to achieve reliable flights and rapid reusability. We've been designing this vehicle from day one to realize a vision of having an entire city of people on Mars, something we know will take launching millions of pounds of cargo and equipment into space, spread across thousands of flights. This future will require many Starships that can fly again and again, and today's flight is a critical step on that path.
So buckle up your seatbelts because here we go. The moon and Mars are not nearly as far in the future as you may think. In fact, we're planning to send Starships to Mars as soon as 2026.
You might be familiar with the Starlink logo, and there you can see it on your screen. It's an iconic representation of the Mars Transfer Orbit, also called the Hohmann Transfer Orbit. This is how fundamental Mars is to SpaceX.
Just a little bit,
This
Jeff.
transfer window, or a time when the Earth and Mars are the closest to each other, opens every 26 months and is only open for about 2 to 3 months at a time for a vehicle with Starship's power. And it just so happens that the next Mars transfer window opens in 2 years towards the end of 2026.
Yeah, lining up a launch to Mars is similar to how we launched to the International Space Station, where we time launches to match the station's orbit. If we didn't do this, we'd need more propellant and more time to get there.
Exactly. So the first opportunity that we have to fly Starships to Mars, we plan on doing it. These first flights to Mars will be uncrewed and will test the reliability of landing intact. If those landings go well, the first crewed flights will follow soon after.
So it's safe to say it's all happening, and flights like today's are what's going to get us there. Not only have we made several improvements to the Starship flying today based on what we've learned from our last flight, including extensive upgrades to Starship's hardware and software, we've also made improvements to the launch tower and catch mechanisms.
And if you've noticed in some of the live views this morning, our teams have completed stacking the second launch tower, which will be coming online next year. Having 2 operational launch towers paired with ships and boosters rolling off the line in our new Star Factory will allow us to increase our flight cadence and test even more rapidly. And just a few miles away from the 2 towers, things are moving really fast at the heart of Starbase. Star Factory is rapidly coming online, with production teams already using the space as construction continues. The 1 million square foot Star Factory brings many parts of the manufacturing process under one roof for the first time, enabling moving as much system integration work as possible earlier in the build process, with the goal of eventually producing hundreds of Starships a year.
Come on.
That's crazy. It's such an impressive building. So, for example, teams can assemble an entire nose cone structure of a ship into a single piece and work on its internal systems all in one place. So if you're working on Starship and you have a question about the steps that you're
Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to make sure we're
or
live.
the team with the answer, or waste time sending an email and waiting for their response, odds are you're right next to that person or team, and now you're working right alongside them, so you don't have to wait for a response.
Yeah, exactly.
Lars, how much payload can be gained by catching the booster? Well, the less mass that you have on your first stage, I'm not sure what the exact number equates out to. You'd have to do the math.
Discovery, go at throttle.
The less rocket that you have on your first stage and the more fuel you have on your first stage equates out to a pretty significant margin or a higher payload capacity on your second stage. This is why, like, for instance, on the shuttle, they made the SRBs as simple and as powerful as they could. Because SRBs have an insane amount of power for what it is, right? It's basically just a pipe with a nozzle at the end, right? So if you can have less mass on your first stage, it's going to equate out to more payload capacity on your second stage, kind of inadvertently. I don't know what the actual numbers are. I'd have to go crunch some numbers to get your exact payload, like, increase, but also it's hard to say how much mass landing legs would be on Super Heavy, because we've never seen them, because they never were there because they never planned on landing it with landing legs, right? We'd have to theoretically conceive how heavy landing legs on Super Heavy would be, right? And then maybe we could extrapolate your mass hit from there, but yeah, it's hard to say, dude. But that the reason why they want to catch it with the tower, and why they don't want landing legs at all, is because you are afforded. That's the Millennium Falcon. You're afforded a much higher. You get it frees up a lot of mass for payload mass on the second stage.
Meters tall. The ship itself is about 50 meters tall,
right?
And the Super Heavy booster alone stands about 71 meters. And even crazier, Eventually, the ship and booster will get even taller with future design iterations.
Can't imagine it being taller than that.
No problem, Shaq.
Starship's first stage has a diameter of roughly 2.5 times that of Falcon
Look
9,
at the business
and with
end,
33
man.
much larger Raptor engines, which you can see there on your screen. Moving up the vehicle, the ship features 6 Raptors,
Dude,
3 sea-level
that's
engines,
a lot of
and 3
engines,
vacuum
man.
engines, which are optimized to operate in the
It's
vacuum
so
of
good.
space. The ship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface, like the surface of the moon. The ship is also outfitted with 4 flaps to help aerodynamically control the vehicle's attitude during atmospheric flight and enable a precision landing.
To reach full reusability, ship must survive entry not just once, but over and over again.
That's
it took
nice.
the teams at SpaceX about 3
Stand up.
years to develop the heat shield on Starship,
No.
and development for improvements is still ongoing. The ship's
No.
heat shield is composed of
You are not
18,000
live.
hexagonal atmospheric entry, where temperatures can be as high as
Now what,
2,600
Munhan?
degrees Fahrenheit.
Now what? You
And
live now?
naturally, the tiles are designed for rapid reuse with no refurbishment between flights. As we mentioned earlier, today's Starship features a completely reworked heat shield with stronger tiles and a secondary protective layer. This promises to increase our chances of Starship making it through a controlled re-entry and hopefully a little more intact this time around. And in between our first and second stages is our hot stage,
Soon.
which we last saw in action on flights 2, 3, and 4. Speaking of, let's take
Weather
a trip
was
back in
pretty
time
green,
and
yellow.
talk about that last flight. On June 6th, Starship successfully lifted off at 7:50 a.m. Central Time from Starbase, Texas, cleared the launch
Dude.
tower, and went on to accomplish several major milestones and firsts. As
What
you can
happened
see
on the
there,
heat
Super
shield?
Heavy
They didn't
booster
get the tile
lifted off
spacing right,
successfully
Birch.
and completed a full duration ascent burn.
Watch,
I
they'll
love
talk
the
about
view
it
of
here.
The sound waves there. Following separation, Super Heavy booster successfully completed its flip maneuver, boost back burn as well to send it toward the splashdown zone, and it also jettisoned the hot stage adapter, as you can see there. We don't have to jettison that adapter in future iterations because it'll be a different design. Now, as you can see here, the booster is returning back to Earth using those hypersonic grid fins to steer it towards a precise landing in the Gulf of Mexico. The footage that we have coming up here, there it is from the buoy. I still remember seeing this on X for the first time, and it was so incredible to
Super
see
cool.
that booster coming down, ending its flight with a soft splashdown 7 minutes and 24 seconds into the flight, and the crowd went wild.
And so did we. Starship's 6 second stage Raptor engine successfully powered the vehicle to space and placed it on a trajectory that would re-enter less than 1 orbit later over the Indian Ocean. And following a coast phase in space, Starship re-entered the Earth's atmosphere, successfully making it through the phases
Raptor
of peak
shield and
heating and
started.
max aerodynamic
Thank you,
pressure, and demonstrating the
that's
ability to
plasma right
control the
there.
vehicle using
See
its
all these
flaps while
sparks?
descending through the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds. And of course, Starlink on Starship
See,
once
the-
again
that's
enabled
ablation.
real-time
All the sparks,
telemetry and
that's
live
ablation.
high-definition
That's-
video
see.
throughout every phase of entry, with external cameras providing
I
views
still can't
all the way
believe
to the
that,
flight's
dude.
conclusion.
Flight
How
4
is that
ended
possible?
with Starship, with, again, the
They're gonna
crowd
try to
going
do that again,
bonkers.
Frisk.
With
Same thing.
Starship igniting its 3 center Raptor engines and executing the first flip maneuver and landing burn that we had seen since our high altitude campaign. And that was followed by a soft splashdown of the ship in the Indian Ocean 1 hour and 6 minutes
Catching the
later.
booster is the big one. Drummer.
And we were all
Without the
glued to
ablation.
the
Yeah,
monitors,
exactly.
watching the
Exactly.
little flap that could the whole
Yeah,
way
bro.
down. Seeing the landing burn and splashdown was an incredible moment for the entire SpaceX team, and we'll be looking out for many more of these incredible moments today.
All right, so while today's mission profile is similar to Flight 4, we got a couple new test objectives, including
And an observation.
catching the booster
Or 2.
back at the launch tower.
In about 18 minutes
Watch.
from now, Super Heavy will ignite its 33 Raptor engines and lift off from Starbase. A little more than 2.5 minutes into flight, the Super Heavy booster will separate from the ship in a hot stage separation. After that separation, the booster will perform a flip maneuver followed by a boost back burn. And about 2 seconds after that burn ends, we'll jettison the booster's hot stage. As it heads back towards the
there's a second
ground, the
tower.
booster
Yep.
will either attempt a landing, will have a landing burn, but then will either return to the tower or splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico.
Meanwhile, the ship's engines will remain lit for just under 6 minutes during its ascent phase before shutting down for the coast. The ship will coast for about 40 minutes or so, reaching a peak altitude of about 213 kilometers. After that coast phase, the ship will be attempting a controlled re-entry, including a flip maneuver and landing burn, like we saw on Flight 4, just before splashing down in the Indian Ocean. Now, we say attempting because, again, this is just a test and nothing is guaranteed.
Except excitement.
Well, of course there is that. Now, both the booster and ship have to contend with some extreme conditions.
Oh, I actually, just on a side note, dudes, I thought I'd show you guys. So I have my Dragon shirt. This is a Dragon 1 shirt. See that? This is the shirt that I had on when SpaceX landed their first booster. That was Orbcomm 2 on December 22nd, 2015. This is the shirt I had on then. In February of 2018, when Falcon Heavy landed the two boosters at the same time, this is the shirt I had on. So I got the old school shirt out. This shirt is tattered at this point, but this is the shirt I had on when SpaceX did their first Falcon Heavy landing and their first Falcon 9 landing. So just thought I'd let you know.
This is space. I'm in space.
Rubert, gifted a sub to Rockophile. Thank you very much. And it's never been washed. No, not that part. Not that part. I actually just took it out of the wash. If the ship does well on this flight, do you think they will go for full orbit? It's a possibility, Panda, but they're probably not going to do it on Flight 6 if they choose to fly this version of Starship. Hey, Malls. 69-month resub.
Receive all the way to the end is.
Do you think they will make a tower-size Optimus Prime to catch the booster? You know what, Sleepy? Probably not, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't want that. I am Optimus Prime, catcher of the rocket boosters. We must fight against the expendable boosters. Hey, Dan.
He's just a few kilometers from Starship on the pad. How's it going, Dan?
There you go, Slappy. Right?
It's going great, Jesse. Welcome back to Starbase, everybody. It's been far too long. Little change of scenery this time. Right behind me is the Launch Control Center, where our flight controllers are counting down to our liftoff at 7:25 a.m. Central. We are a little bit later in our window. The main reason is we're working to clear out the range. Have not been tracking any technical issues so far to preclude that launch. So 7:25 a.m. Central, 12:25 UTC is where we're marching down to. As you can see, we're actively loading propellants on board Super Heavy and Starship. Liquid methane for your fuel, liquid oxygen for the oxidizer. Prop load on the ship started at about T-minus 49 minutes.
South
Booster
Texas,
at T-minus 40 minutes.
Near
We're going to keep loading
Texas,
propellants on those vehicles right down to the wire.
Texas.
Ship
fact,
will close
Mexico
out
is
at
like
about 3
right
minutes
there.
and 20 seconds before
Like
T0,
this way.
and then booster just about 30 seconds later. Now,
Inside of
with
15
our
minutes,
startup
guys.
sequence, it's going to look very similar to what you saw on Flight 4. We already tested it with this booster and its static fire. We're going to see the Raptors start to make fire at about T-minus 3 seconds, and then we'll start them up in 3 different banks. The first inner 13 will fire, and then about a second later, 15 of the outer ring engines, and then about 0.8 of a second after that, those final 5.
Racer, 37 months.
Another reminder, if we need to hold, we have a built-in spot at T-minus 40 seconds. We can hold for stuff like if we need to finish clearing the range or if any other technical issues pop up, just kind of in the last second.
Man.
If there's nothing holding us back, we're going to go right past that and go down to 0. So, I mean, as of right now, we're just under 14 minutes away from liftoff, not working any technical issues. Range is expected to clear.
Okay,
we're just clearing out a few more boats.
Ace, what's up, dude?
As you can see, the weather is perfect.
Here we go.
100% go for launch from the weather officer, so that was pretty unprecedented and something we really like to hear. If we're not able to go today, since we are loading prop, it would likely be about 48 hours before.
Sorry about that, guys. 48 hours for the next attempt.
Really looking forward to being.
I'm going to give the stream a quick refresh just to be sure.
Good thing we're going to launch today. Really looking forward to being able to turn around and see it this time. Counting down to 7:25 a.m. Central.
And then, guys, what I'm going to do at T-minus, actually, we could do it now. I'm going to run ads now so nobody gets pre-rolls or any ads during the ascent, okay? I don't really like running ads, but also I don't like interrupted launches either. So I'm going to run them real quick. I believe me, I never do this. I only do this so people won't get a pre-roll if like during the ascent, which would be just annoying, right? So I'm gonna run them now, and I'll see you on the other side.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Turn to a separate landing zone on land or to a drone ship in the
Oh
ocean.
no!
Both of which require
Toyoko.
time to transport the vehicle back.
6 months up. Oh no, get it out 20. Thank you.
Truly rapid reusability. We need a quicker turnaround, and you can't get much faster than returning the launch vehicle
Discovery,
right back
throttle up.
to the launch site where it needs to be in order to launch again.
For today's booster catch attempt, while there are thousands of criteria that need to be met, there are 3 primary gates that will be in play. In order to proceed, automated checks have to indicate we have a healthy booster and a healthy tower, and the flight director must issue a manual command, which is informed by manual checks from the flight control team. If this command is not sent prior to the completion of the boost back burn, or if automated health checks show unacceptable conditions with Super Heavy or the tower, the booster will default to a trajectory that takes it to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Now, thinking to the future when we're operational, after a booster returns to the launch tower, it will be inspected and reloaded with propellants, and then ready to launch another ship to orbit. For today's test, however, we're only going to attempt the catch, like Jesse said, if everything on the booster and tower checks out after launch. And of course, we will let you know as soon as we know if it's a go. And we're going to be listening very keenly for that call out. Now, as always, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public and our team. So to that end, the area all around the pad and the flight path are cleared well in advance.
Exactly. A lot of things have to go right in order to line up the booster catch. So don't be surprised if we don't attempt the catch today. Either way, today's flight will generate data that will continue to inform our future flights and help us get to that operational cadence.
Yeah. Oh, you can't forget what else it will generate.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I mean, I was going to say a sonic boom.
Oh, I was going to say excitement, but that's a really good reminder.
Now, if we do make it to a catch attempt today, Super Heavy may generate a sonic boom upon its return. And that's basically a brief thunder-like noise that we hear when an aircraft or other object travels faster than the speed of sound. Anyone that has been in the area for a Falcon 9 land landing in Florida or California, or even some space shuttle landings, may have heard one of these.
If they go for a full landing and catch,
the only
it's going to
impact
make a
in those
really
surrounding
loud
areas of a sonic boom is the brief noise, with variables like weather and distance impacting if or how the sonic boom is heard. Here's a brief look at how these sonic booms look and sound on Falcon.
I know a lot of people will be excited when they hear the sonic boom.
And these
I
are
don't
going to
care,
provide
Alex.
quite a show because you're going to hear those sonic booms.
Sounds like a cannon going off.
Booster landing like deployed.
That sonic boom is great for us.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Thunderclap broke the sound barrier.
Side booster separation confirmed.
So cool.
Just heard the 2 sonic booms here in the room.
Booster landing confirmed.
Inside of 10 minutes, guys.
As our
Oh,
test flights
here we
continue,
go.
we plan to demonstrate ship-to-ship propellant transfer, which will be important in preparation for Starship taking astronauts to the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program.
I have no idea.
SpaceX will perform one uncrewed demonstration flight before NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which will be the first human surface expedition since 1972. Also, in preparation for missions to the moon and Mars, we're gaining tons of knowledge from our human spaceflight missions, including free flyer flights like our recent commercial astronaut mission Polaris Dawn.
Polaris Dawn was the first of up to 3 missions in the space program, which is demonstrating new technologies, conducting extensive research, and will culminate in a flight of Starship with humans on board.
After nearly 5 days in orbit, Dragon and the 4-person Polaris Dawn crew safely splashed down on September 15th off the coast of Florida, completing the first human spaceflight mission of the Polaris program. The Polaris Dawn crew performed some incredible firsts during their mission. Dragon and the crew reached 1,408.1 kilometers, the highest Earth orbit ever flown, and the farthest humans have been from our planet since the Apollo program.
The crew also performed the first ever
At 5 minutes,
commercial
we'll shut the
EVA,
notifier
or
off, okay?
extravehicular activity. And as you can
So
see
get
there,
'em in
they
now
were
if you
wearing
want to.
the new
Smoke if
EVA
you got 'em.
suits that we developed here in-house. This was an incredible
Right,
moment to
Ish.
see Jared and then later Sarah emerge and perform this EVA with Earth behind. Now, in addition to this incredible spacewalk, they also conducted about 36
We saw
research
that
studies
happen.
and experiments from 31 partner institutions, including NASA.
No problem,
And
Simon.
in addition to all of that, they also tested Starlink laser-based communications in space. The data gathered from Polaris Dawn missions is invaluable, much like the data that we're going to see after today's flight test of Starship. So we're coming down to T-minus about 7 minutes. Let's check in with Dan.
Hey, thanks, Kate. So yeah, we're right at about 7 minutes away from
Josh.
launch. The main thing we are still working is that range clear. Again, we have to make sure boats, airspace, everything is cleared out of the way for our ascent corridor, basically the Gulf of Mexico, where we're launching through.
They might,
before
Vera,
we can
it
actually
depends.
launch. And so we're working on clearing out just a few more boats. We do have a window, remember. So
this is
if
space.
we
I'm in
end
space.
up holding at like a T-minus 40 seconds, we can hold for several minutes, allow those boats to get out of the way, and then we can launch. Our window is from 7 to 7:30
this is space.
Central, so
I'm
we
in
don't
space.
have a huge amount of time today, but we do have some margin if we need to work with it.
WB-57's
to
in the
still
air,
get off
D-Pick.
the ground today. For now, though, we're coming up on finishing
Lot of
prop load
throttling
on
up.
both vehicles. Header tanks are pretty much topped out on the ship. Those are going to be...
What's the big leap forward? What advantages does it bring? If they catch the booster, they can set it right back down on the pad and then stack another Starship. The rapid turnaround. They're trying to get rockets to basically work like airplanes, which is that's the big one, Zombie. That's what Starship's really all about. You know, getting this thing to work like an airplane. Why did they delay? I'm not sure, Chando. We don't know exactly.
Systems, a lot of those things that we upgraded just to make sure that we are in
Nova
the
One,
right
thank you.
posture,
Sith Boxer,
to
had
actually
a 6
proceed
monther
with
in
the
there
catch.
too.
So they'll be working kind of fast and furious behind
Electron.
the scenes to
Thank
inform
you.
the flight director's manual command to send the booster back. So
They do have some boats in the range. I think that's what I heard Dan say.
the roof's going to come off. That's going to be a really exciting moment.
Yeah, baby.
So otherwise, if we don't go today, as you guys talked about, there is a chance. And if we don't send the booster back, we'll do a landing burn and a splashdown in
Yeah,
the
probably,
Gulf.
Oswald.
And then that's just another landing burn
Or
to
they just get warned.
gather
and
more
leave.
data, learn more lessons from, and then we'll come back and try the catch again on
All
the
right,
next
guys.
one.
We're
But,
getting up to
as
5
of
minutes
right now,
here. I'm going
we're
to shut the
coming up on
notifier
5
off.
minutes. There
Thank
is
you
a
for all the
chance that we'll
support,
hold
but it's going to be
or
muted from now on. It'll
extend
still
into the
pop
end
up
of our
over there,
window, so don't be surprised if that ends up happening.
Actually,
but if those boats do get
no,
out
I
of the
think
way,
it's-
we are just
yeah, no,
about
it's not
5
gonna
minutes
pop up,
away
but
from launch.
thank you very
So,
much.
I'll check back in just a moment.
already
but
done,
back
Tessa.
over to you, Kate and Jesse.
Thanks, Dan. Our rapid iterative development approach has been the basis for all of SpaceX's major innovative advancements,
You're about 6
including
seconds
Falcon,
slow.
Dragon,
Yeah,
and
I don't know
Starlink.
what you want me to do, Procyon.
Today,
This is an
we're
extreme.
testing hardware and
Do you want me to
systems,
you want me to hit the lab button?
and to reiterate, we do not, while we do determine an acceptable level of technical risk on our vehicle and pad in order to learn as fast as possible, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public or our team. So, that is to say, this is only the
I'm not
fifth
changing
of
the
many
feeds,
future
Baron, this
flight
close
tests
to
of
the launch,
Starship
because
before
if it breaks,
becomes fully
and it will,
operational.
You might remember the
miss it.
Starlink
I'm not
panels that are
allowing that to
incorporated
happen.
into Starship, and you can see them there on your screen, those rectangular panels on Starship's
It's just
nose cone.
condensation because of the
Starlink
cold
brings us
propellants
the
being
epic
moved around,
views
Leo.
in space
Yeah,
and on
it leaves some
re-entry,
cool
and also
kinda
helps deliver us
smoke
the
on the
critical
water,
flight data engineers need to
effect.
continue development. In addition to enabling our rapid iteration on Starship, Starlink is also enabling life-saving communication here on
You live?
Earth. SpaceX
Yeah?
is sending tens of thousands
You
of
live?
Starlink kits in response to Hurricanes Helene and Milton and providing free service through the end of the year to support recovery efforts. The Starlink team also worked with T-Mobile to activate our
cold.
direct-to-cell satellites to provide
Probably be
basic
all right. It'd
texting
be
on
cold.
T-Mobile and emergency alerts for all phones and carriers of those in affected areas. If a phone connects to a Starlink satellite, it will have 1 to 2 bars of signal and show T-Mobile
that, Baron,
SpaceX
but
in the network
yep,
name.
you didn't listen
SpaceX's
to me.
direct-to-cell constellation
I'll
has
tell you
not
tell you
been
later.
fully deployed, so these services are being delivered on a best effort basis.
Starlink is enabling life-saving communication
Yeah, next time, dude.
here on Earth and continues to help us push.
There's kind of a rule here. Once you have something, and even if it stutters a little bit, and even if it's working, you don't change it. Me trying to go in and mess with VLC right now when we're 2 minutes and 40 seconds out is crazy. Ask anybody that streams. Don't do stuff like that, especially if it's live. Trying to change the feed right now is like streaming suicide. Don't do that. Like streamer suicide, like suicide is wrong. Don't do any of that. But that's bad. I'm not gonna change the feed at this point. Maybe next time, dude. Right?
Surprise! Now it sounds like we might not.
You need an act of Congress to change something on the
just a
stream
little
when you're
over
doing
2
live
minutes
coverage
away,
like this.
So a couple more things going to be happening. We did just close out our propellant
here we
load
go.
on the ship and the booster. So 10 million pounds of propellant on that vehicle on the pad here at Starbase, getting ready to go. We're going to start clearing
2
out
minutes.
all of the lines that are basically pushing all of that propellant to the vehicles. Those get cleaned out or cleared out on the ground before we lift off. We're doing some final checks on the vehicle, the thrust vector control that we're going to use to steer it, as well as the guidance system doing its final alignment, just a lot of our final checkouts. But we are starting to hear that it looks like the range is going
90
to
seconds.
be clear at our liftoff time of 7:25 a.m. Central, 12:25 UTC. So that puts us 1 minute, 20 seconds away
Holy cow,
from
that's a
launch.
lot of engines.
Still not tracking any technical issues. That range clear is the only thing that's been potentially poking at our launch. So I'm going to start to quiet down. We'll hear our flight director
Right,
for
Apollo,
today,
they
Tristan
wish.
Pierce, give some of the final call-outs. As of right now, we are 1 minute away from liftoff.
All right, there should be a hold gate here. Let's see what happens. If they clear the hold gate, we're good to go. T-minus 40. You're inside of the hold gate. Here we go. 30 seconds.
Flight directors go for launch.
FD reports go. One last tick on the live. And
Best
here we
words
go.
you could possibly hear, 20 seconds away from liftoff.
15. 10.
T-minus 5, 4, 3,
Pad deluge is on.
2, 1.
Ignition. There's a lift.
We have liftoff.
Flight 5 is in the air. Here we go. Hopefully showing us the first time a booster will be caught by a launch pad. Hopefully. Dude, look at it go. Oh my god. That's so good.
Booster after chamber pressure nominal.
Good calls. Oh my goodness.
30 seconds into the flight, the rumble's just starting to reach us here at launch control.
Booster and ship, avionics power, telemetry nominal.
33 Raptor
All engines, look at dude. Oh, I'm gonna go over here. Look at that. That's awesome. It's so good.
Max Q.
Maximum dynamic pressure.
Now pass through the maximum aerodynamic pressure, the most stress the vehicle's going to see on the way uphill. All right, our next major milestone coming up, it's going to be hot staging. We're going to see the engines ignite on ship to push it away from the booster.
All right. So they're going to... Hot staging is when they fire the second stage engines while still attached. You're going to see some flow phenomenon coming out of the side of the stack. That's totally normal. The reason why they hot stage is because it's the simplest way of separating. Your rocket engines are going to get you away from your first stage. So if you fire those engines, right, you're under constant acceleration, and you get good feed the entire time. You don't have to worry about pushing the stage away. It'll just push away from the rocket motors.
Instead of main engine cut off, because 3 are going to keep going.
Watch.
And then we're going to see the engines on ship ignite. Right now, the tower team is doing their go, no go. And we might hear some really good words soon, too. All right.
The gate for them trying the catch attempt happens right after Starship separates, so listen for it. I'm not going to say nothing.
Gorgeous things I've ever seen in my entire life. Coming up on hot staging
There we go.
Ship engine
There's
startup.
both engines cut off.
Stage separation. Booster
Stage separation. Hot stage separation confirmed. Ship under its own power. I'm seeing 6 out of 6 Raptors lit. Hopefully I got a booster on the way back to me. I'm going to send it to you guys in Hawthorne.
Oh man, that was absolutely incredible. I loved how the crowd
chamber pressure is nominal.
The crowd here in Hawthorne all went ooh at that first view of the blue flames from the booster. As you can see there,
that's good.
First stage currently performing, or excuse me, is now making its way back to the launch site. Again, we are
ship avionics power and telemetry nominal.
The booster and the tower are both performing automated checks to make sure we are go for the booster to return to the launch pad for that catch. And once those are complete, the flight director...
Boost back burn shutdown. Flight directors go for booster return.
Can hear it.
And we did hear that the tower is go for catch.
Let's
so
go, baby! Let's go! Come on! Here we go! Hold on to your butts.
We'll wait to hear that the go for catch has been sent.
Come on.
Beautiful view here from the ship.
And so exciting to hear that we got a go for booster catch. That means it's going to be a really exciting morning. Again, the booster is making its way back towards now land in order to make that catch attempt in the tower.
Oh.
So incredible to see these views. You can see the ship on the right-hand side of your screen. All 6 Raptor engines are under full power. Once again,
they're
the
chilling
ship,
down the
excuse me,
engines
the
for
booster
landing.
is
That's
making
what all
its
that.
way
That's what
back
all that is.
to the
Hot
launch
staging
site.
ring
We
jettison.
are going to try and
See it?
catch it
You see
using
it?
the chopsticks on the launch tower, the exact same tower that it
There it
launched
is.
from just 5 minutes ago.
So cool.
Yeah, the booster.
Starship on nominal
Guys,
trajectory.
I can confirm the command was sent for the booster to come back.
That is incredible.
Oh, here we go.
It's pretty much right overhead of us, and we can see it starting to come down.
I can't wait for us to hear the sonic boom through Dan's mic. That is going to be incredible.
Come
It was
on.
so cool to hear the liftoff. And so once again, a successful on-time liftoff of Starship Flight 5. The ship has separated from the booster. The booster is there on your screen. It is making its way back to the launch site. We are going to attempt the catch using the chopsticks. We did hear the confirmation that the command was sent to the tower. We are go for catch.
Come on, baby.
And in order to...
And guys, we should just be about 30 seconds away from our landing burn.
Flight termination system on the booster
It's
has
gonna
been
happen
safe
in 3
in
phases.
preparation for a landing.
13 engines burn off all of that velocity. Oh, we can see it coming
Dude!
down through the pool.
Dude!
Booster coming in
That's so
for
cool.
booster catch.
Gonna ignite 13 of those Raptor engines, and this
Come on,
view
bring it
is
on home.
Incredible right now. You can see how fast
Okay.
this vehicle is moving.
Should be getting
on
an
the
ignition here in a
left-hand
second.
side of the screen.
we're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can
Come on.
see those chops.
Come on, baby. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, shit! Oh, my goodness! What the?
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
What an incredible view!
Are you kidding me?
Dan,
Wow.
I don't know about you, but we're losing our stuff up here.
Guys, I'm sorry. Like, even in this day and age, what we just saw, that looked like magic. Oh, wow.
Talk straight, man.
That must have been insane. We are still going wild over here over this.
Folks, this is a day for the engineering history books.
They blew out something on the umbilical right there. The ground umbilical carrier plate
This
is
is a
leaking.
live view of the Super Heavy booster.
I
as
can't
it has
believe
just
that.
been
I can't believe that
successfully launched
worked.
At the very same launch tower that it just came from. Dan, I love this. You are reflecting exactly what everybody else here in Hawthorne, except maybe a little bit more because you got to see it with your own
Freaking
eyes.
did it.
How was that?
We got it. I mean, like, I can't even describe that. Oh, by the way, ship.
26.5. Perfect.
Ships in orbit.
Perfect.
I am like shaking right now. That was,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This is not,
yeah,
I mean,
let's check in on ship.
it's hard to believe that.
Starship nominal orbit insertion.
Oh, right. Exciting news there. It's hard to believe that, booster isn't the only excitement that we have today. Just confirmation there. A gorgeous view of planet Earth behind the ship. And it's now in the orbit that we expected it to. This is just an incredible day. Live views there as the booster vents. Some pressures there.
Oh my
That is a live
goodness.
view from the top of the tower looking at the chopsticks.
I am still in disbelief. I'm trying to catch my tears just like the chopsticks caught the
Holy
booster.
crap.
It has been nonstop since liftoff. And we are all so excited about everything that's been happening so far this morning.
I'm sorry.
With the
Nothing to
booster
add.
having completed its job for today, we are going to take a short break for the next 30 minutes. We'll return back at T plus 40 minutes while the ship continues to coast before re-entry.
Oh man, and as with previous flights, Starlink may actually enable us to talk with the ship through re-entry with no communication blackout. We of course are still testing Starlink during this phase of flight, so nothing is certain, but if we do have views, we'll be sure to bring those to you live.
Tank vent down.
Views
GSE
or
vent
no
down.
views, we'll see you
And
back
they're
here
using-
at T plus 40 minutes for coverage.
Okay, all right, serious time. It looked like they blew a gasket out their ground umbilical carrier plate. It definitely was on fire, but they're using tank ullage. They're using residual tank ullage to snuff the flames out. You know how the booster has all that like a vape cloud coming out of the bottom, just like Starship does right now. They're using their ullage. They use the residual gases that are inside of the tanks, and they vent that through the motors to snuff the flame. But I did see some weird stuff going on there. Their umbilical carrier plate, basically the gas cap for filling up the booster with liquid fuel, with liquid methane and liquid oxygen, it looked like it popped. Not ideal, but who cares? Who freaking cares? Did you see that? I'm sorry if I cursed a little bit. My fault. But I have no words. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's cool, and we're not even out of the woods yet. I can't believe that, dude. What did I tell you? It swung right in. It came in with a horizontal component. Just like we thought it would. That, oh my goodness. Dude, my adrenaline is going, dude. I don't know about you guys. I'm awake. I'm awake now. I went into fight or flight mode there for a second. I'm like, ooh, what? It's 100%, dude. Bill, it's right on the pins. Gerst didn't misspeak. That's sub-centimeter precision. They actually caught it. Oh my goodness. Move the camera over. What do you want from me? Yeah, okay. I'll go over here. Oh. This is space. I'm in space. I can't believe that. I can't believe we just saw that, dude. Hang on. I gotta text my dad. I gotta text my dad. Otzcock! No way! That was 100 subs! What the frick, dude? Oh my goodness! Yeah, the engine. Oh my. The nozzles were heated up and they were radiating out heat from re-entry. It tanked the re-entry heat. No SSRP needed. Oh my goodness. Otzcock, you're the freaking man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, my commentary sucked. It was so bad. But what do you want me to do? Oh my goodness. Dude, okay, she's coasted. Hold on. I need to find a replay. I need to find a replay. I need to see that again. That was the sickest thing ever. Look, here's a replay. Here's a replay. Dude, see, look, the gup. See the gup catch on fire? Dude, you gotta be kidding me. That thing's 22 stories tall. Wow, what the actual frick? What? Dude, they freaking caught it. I can't. And look, guys, the catch arms are turned. They didn't catch it over the pad. They caught it to the right. Oh my God. Just like we thought would happen. They can move the arms in different directions. It's not going to be over the OLM. They caught it out to the right of the OLM. Look at which way the catch arms are facing relative to the Here, hold up. Go to the very end. See? They're aimed to the right. It's not over the OLM exactly. It's to the right of it. Oh, that's so cool. Dude, I'm speechless. That was perfect. It was perfect. Right, bees? Dude, I'm telling you, it was, yeah, Aqualex, right? It came in sideways, just like we said. Dude. And we're not even done yet, dude. We still get to watch Starship re-enter. Dude, I can't believe that. Guys, that thing right there that they just caught, 220 feet tall, 30 feet wide. It's 70 meters by 9 meters. That's a 22-story building coming back and getting plucked out of thin air. Unreal. It's freaking magical, man.
Discovery,
look at that. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. How much will a booster cost? We don't know, flat rate, but dude, it's got 33 engines in it. It's expensive, dude. It's right in line with the pins, man. It's perfect. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. They just got, dude, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I felt like I was on a spaceship. Felt like I was on a spaceship. The ship run real good. The ship run real good. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, fill her up and send it, dude.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Jack says the sonic boom was insanely loud. Right, Ando?
Go and throttle up.
Dude. Listen to the sonic booms. So this is NSF's footage. Restreamed with permission. What is this? Oh my goodness, look at the NSF track.
We'll be coming up on that landing burn.
Yep.
Come on, booster heavy. It's booster heavy. Super heavy. You can do it.
Look at this.
Look at the re-entry.
Headphone users. Headphone users. Headphone users. This is gonna be loud, dudes. Trust me on this one.
That's 6.5 minutes.
You got 10 seconds to adjust your volume. Here we go.
That is moving so fast. Look at how hard it is. Oh! Ignition!
That's the 13.
This is space. I'm in space.
They did it!
They did it on the first try!
How did they do that?
What the hell? Dude. I'll link it again. You guys just watch it again. It's the shirt. It's good luck. I wore this shirt, this Dragon 1 shirt. I wore it on the first Falcon 9 landing and I was there. And the first Falcon Heavy landing, I was there. This is the shirt, man. We wear this shirt every time they first attempt something. Never watch that shirt again. I can't.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
I will poop a squirrel. What? My reaction wasn't good enough for you, man? Jesus. Oh, man. Scott loved your reaction. I think I started jumping around like a madman. Yeah, Tessa, for real. Can you explain more about what blew out the side at the end? So, Moguni, that's the gas cap. So that bottom piece, I don't know the exact name. I call it a ground umbilical carrier plate, or just a carrier umbilical plate. It could just be that. What that is the fill and drain valves for the booster when it's attached to the pad. That's where they fill it up. It's the gas cap, so to speak. It looks like they had some residual shoot out the side, and you saw flames coming off of it. There was some residual methane leaking somewhere on that booster. because the flames coming out the side. But you know what, man? Doesn't matter. They snuffed it out with the ullage propellants, but yeah, that's the gas cap, so to speak. YG, what's up, man? That was awesome, dude. It don't get much cooler than that, man. SpaceX delivered astronauts on the... Yeah, that's my boat. My boat. Dude. Look, that's a live view. Look, we got new cameras looking at the wings. When is entry? About 30 minutes from now, give or take. Here, let me give us a quick refresher, make sure we're up and live. Give me 1 second. I need to see this again. I gotta see it one more time. See, right there, Moguni? Look, see what I'm talking about? The umbilical's leaking. I don't think it's that big of a deal, and it might be on purpose. What's happening is it's leaking, and it's the engine, the convecting heat from the engines is actually igniting it. It's auto-combusting it. You could see it. Here, look. So they went to fire the engines, guys, and something went a little wonky there. See, there's fire coming out of the umbilical right there. See it? That's not. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to do that. But there is some stuff that does come off the booster. See it right there? There is some debris. I'm sure it's not. I mean, clearly it's not too important. It landed without it, but you see the umbilical is pushing. The umbilical plate is pushing out propellant, and that propellant is auto combusting off the convected heat. See right there? See how it keeps setting itself on fire? A chine popped? Yeah. Some shielding on the chine came off? Yeah. See, especially when they shut the engines off. Watch, see the umbilical, when they puff it out, it shoots out a big puff, and then it goes out. They snuffed it out. They use the ullage propellants in here. They flood the engines basically with the gases left inside of the tanks. And that basically snuffs any flames out. And that's what it did. People are asking me, like, what happens if the booster's on fire when it lands? I'm like, they'll put it out. It's no big deal. See, there's the smoke from the flames getting snuffed out. I sent you a Discord DM. Please check. Now is probably not the best time to do that. I'll be honest with you. Probably not the best time to do that. Yeah, weather guy, that link isn't working for me. It didn't work for me before, and yeah, it's not working. Either way, it's data for the next test. Yep. Did you see that it accelerated towards the tower during the landing burn? Yes. Yeah, right there. Dude. I can't believe that. I can't believe that it did that. I said it would come in with a horizontal velocity component because the booster can control its momentum a lot better. You can get much more accurate in your landing if you have some sideways translation, right? See last, please. Dude, it's gone already. Like, you're gonna have to bear with me, man. Is that the contrails from the WB-57? I saw it too. It might be. It's possible. You can see them bend at super heavy touchdown. Yep. Yeah, they bent a little bit. The whole tower shook a little bit, but it's all right. Yeah, Greg, can you believe that? Here, from Weather Guy. Yeah, caught the launch from Goes. That's really cool, man. Neat. Here, let's jump back to live. Yeah, I see it, Alucard. There you go. Nice, dude. Second best part is about to come up. That's right, dude. We still get to see if this thing punches its way through re-entry. I know, JCP. Can you believe that? How far offshore did the hot staging ring land? I don't know, 7. I'm gonna guess 70 kilometers, kind of where the fourth flight came down, if I had to guess. Now you gotta do it in KSP. They said 3-4 kilometers? Yeah, okay, like I said, I was guessing. Like, guys, hold up. I want to see the catch. I want to see the launch one more time. Just. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is launching. Oh my god. That's awesome. Here's I want to see it again. I just want to make sure. Like, everything looked fine. How you feeling about re-entry? Ethan, I don't know. I think we're playing with house money, dude. Whatever happens from here on out is just a bonus. No, I'm good, Snake. There's a replay of launch. We'll see what happens, Selfish. Is the ship landing on top of the booster, ready to lift off again? Wouldn't that be something? Dude, hold up. Can I just back it up here for a second? I just want to point out that shot. That's pretty neat. Yeah, all the engines worked. I did smoke, yep. Dude, look at that. Look at that shot, man. That's unbelievable. I got no words, guys. I'm sorry. NSF. This is coming from NSF here. Guys, go over there and subscribe. They deserve it, man. About 10, 20 minutes from now, Rojo. Vulcan, I got no words, dude. I got no words. I'll turn the notifiers back on, dude. I got nothing. Right, big dog? Unbelievable. Bro, that was insane. It was insane. That was insane. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen, dude. By a long shot. Yeah, see the fire coming out of the umbilical? Of course they changed the camera. I can't believe that. I can't believe that, dudes. Yeah, see, one of the chines came off. They had some pressure. They had some positive pressure inside one of the chines there. How did they get the booster back down on the ground? The pad? All they have to do is just turn the arms and then just set it down on a transport cart, dude. It'll... The propellants... So, Cruzo, the propellants inside of Super Heavy will boil off. They will boil off. It's cryogenic propellant. So, I don't know if you... Nice. Here, you can see it right here. Look. So once they shut the engines off, right? Oh, dude, look at it rock back and forth. Unreal. So once they shut, you can see, hold on, you can see right there that there's still some propellant in it from the frost on the tanks. They'll vent down the booster from there with vent holes that are actually up here somewhere. They're up around the grid fins. They vent down all the tanks because the propellants will boil off. All you got to do is just open up the vents and they'll eventually just evaporate out of the tanks. Yeah, it's self-cleaning, so to speak. It's not, but that's a funny way to put it. The oxygen ones are on the bottom. Okay. What, is that not going to boil off, Helzekin? It's going to boil off too. Can the chopsticks be used to give an extra push upwards during launch? No, Sisfi. No. The rocket engines will do that. They'll do that way better than the chopsticks ever could. Sour Patch, 6-monther. Thank you. I was agreeing with you. I was like, yeah, wait, what? Okay, back up to the live stream here. It looks like they do have a little bit of FOD, foreign object debris strikes on the leading edge of one of their flaps right there. That's not good, but it looks like it didn't go through all the way. So we'll see we'll see what happens there. Guys, I've caught stuff with a tower in KSP before. It's doable. So what you're seeing right there is solid oxygen. Right there, that's what all these snowflakes are coming out of the vehicle. They're venting, they're chilling down the engines. They're thermally conditioning them. And what happens is you basically prime the engines, and priming the engines has oxygen go through the engine plumbing, keep the engine cool, and then they vent that the priming overboard, right? And when you do that, you have gaseous oxygen immediately getting exposed to the vacuum. So the oxygen going from gas, it goes basically from gas directly to solid before it hits the vacuum, because you're dropping the pressure. You're dropping the pressure with a gas, so you get solidification. That happens per the ideal gas law, right? Because when gases get really, really cold, they freeze. And in that split second where it's depressurizing, it solidifies. So you get all these kind of snowflakes coming off the vehicle. Same thing happens with Falcon 9. Same thing happens with pretty much any stage. Interesting shallow tiles. Yeah, there are some... I'm not sure what's going on here. I think these tiles were purposefully not... They purposefully exposed the ablator on there, but I don't know for sure. I didn't see any tiles come off. I think it's like that on purpose. What if they use a trebuchet to launch it further? I don't know, man. You like the shot of the tower when it launches. How about when it comes back? Klavik, I want to see that footage. That's one of the aft flaps, I think. That's cool, Jay. Nice.
Griffin, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
The event of the year. Tip $5. Thank you. Oh, the helo came back. Oh, nice dually right there, boy. I tell you what. Do the propellants bleed off more because of the sun heat in space? You get boil off. Yeah, not bleed off. It's boil off. Well, it depends, Jackal. The side that's facing the sun is going to boil off more. And this is why the shuttle, while not carrying cryogenic propellants, always kept its thermal protection system pointed at the sun. Because of thermals. Starship will probably end up being the same way. Right now, I don't think that's what's going on. I don't know, Tessa, maybe. No, John. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, Fumble, I saw it. I just showed it on stream. How full are the Starship tanks at launch? They're pretty dang full, dude. The aft flap was your nickname at Space Camp, Triple? That's awesome. $25. That was a 25 pack right there, man. From Anon. Thank you so much.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'm sorry I wasn't the best at providing technical commentary there, dudes. But I'm glad you know, you chose to share this moment with me. It's very flattering. I appreciate it, guys. I'm sorry I was jumping around like crazy, man. Oops.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's like there was a human first going on or something. Yeah, right.
Welcome back to
I don't know
Starship.
username. I don't understand that question, to be honest. Hey, Jeff. Just Jeff.
Day.
All right, here we go. I'm going to shut up for a second.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Oh, snap. 73 months and predominant gifted 69 subs. Nice.
The Super Heavy booster and ship had a successful separation as well as a good boost back burn and good separation of the hot stage adapter. The Super Heavy booster then completed the landing burn with 13 Raptor engines igniting and slowing down the vehicle perfectly for Mechazilla to catch the Super Heavy booster for the first ever land recovery of the vehicle.
That's awesome.
Insane to think that we're not done yet. We still have, in about 48 minutes, the ship will re-enter. The flap, all the flaps that will today, not that could. The ship will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. Now, as a reminder, one of the main goals of today's test flight is for the ship to make it through the extreme heat of re-entry and to do so in a controlled manner. We learned a lot about this phase during Flight 4 and, as a result, completely reworked the heat shield. But more on all that in just a minute. Now, re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with the spacecraft because it'll be re-entering at about 8 8 kilometers per second, or about 5 miles per second of roughly orbital velocity. Now, those speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere results in friction and creates a plasma field around the vehicle. We saw this in action on Flight 4 thanks to Starlink, and wow, it was breathtaking. The blanket of plasma ends up distorting communication frequency, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication, but hopefully that's not the case today.
And Kate, that's where Starlink has just kind of been just the unsung hero and the MVP of this test campaign. I mean,
oh my goodness,
it's able to give us data, not just awesome video, but also data in real time as we're going through reentry. I mean, this is something that throughout the history of spaceflight just hasn't been possible. And this is an environment that is so unforgiving, so hard to model, so hard to understand. And for the first time ever, we're able to literally watch as it unfolds in real time, get that data in real time. And we're able to do that with Starlink. And it's great for us because we get to see something. We get to see the greatest light show on the planet or off the planet. But what it means for this program, we're able to learn tremendous amounts about our heat shield, our angle of attack, everything that we're doing as we're coming in through the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds. And it's, you can't just thank it enough. And also special shout out, you're going to see some additional flap camera views. We've got a really amazing team of avionics, cameras, electronics, software people who made all that possible. And so hopefully they're going to give us an even better show on the way in today as we're coming in at about 5 times the speed of sound.
Yeah, maybe, Bright. Yeah, I know. Thank you. You guys are going bananas. Thank you so much.
Yeah, those flaps, Dan, that you see there, that's what's helping.
Starship is in a good attitude for entry, approaching the entry interface.
All right, guys. We're going to run ads again here. I'm going to run ads again so nobody gets an ad during EI here. This is something you're not going to want to miss. Trust me on this one. It's going to get hot. Thank you for making this stuff fly all over the screen. All right, see you on the other side.
It prepares for the beginning of re-entry today.
Yeah, exactly. Re-entry will be enabled by that heat shield that you see on the bottom half. That heat shield is made up of 18,000 hexagonal ceramic tiles, and they are designed to insulate the vehicle during atmospheric entry. At that point in time, temperatures can be as high as 26,000 degrees Fahrenheit or about 1,400 degrees Celsius. The design itself also permits for rapid reuse with no refurbishment between the flights. And fun fact that I think is just incredible in terms of scale, but the heat shield alone on the ship has a total mass of 10.5 tons. Which is crazy because these things are really lightweight. They're made out of ceramic. We have a couple of them here. The one that I'm holding is used on flat surfaces as, let's see if we go that way, because as it's flat, the one that Jesse has is kind of more what you see there on the side.
Yeah, exactly. And having these different shapes, the flat version and the curved version, allow us to cover a lot more of the surface area of the vehicle. Again, we need to protect every portion of it. So even those curved surfaces, and especially the hinge area, if you watched Flight 4, is really what we want to make sure that we protect. And yeah, Kate, these are very, very lightweight.
But when you put 18,000 of them together, they add up to 10.5 tons, which is incredible.
So what's going on here is Starship is starting to get into the upper parts of the atmosphere. Note that the altitude's going down. We're below the Kármán line. You're going to start seeing some what's called plasma propagation here. Starship is moving against the air, and it's going so ridiculously fast.
This is space. I'm in space.
It's going so ridiculously fast that the air can't get out of the way. So what happens is the air ends up getting compressed on the bottom of the vehicle and on the sides of the wings, right? It ends up getting compressed, and it gets, because the ideal gas law, when gases get super compressed, they superheat. And when those gases superheat, it eventually gets to the point where they ionize. And when they ionize, they release a crazy amount of energy in the form of plasma. See it right here? Look at that. You don't see that every day.
Go and throttle up.
No, Nobody's ever been able to get images like this during re-entry, guys. Not even during the shuttle, they couldn't get a picture this good. It's amazing to see plasma flow phenomenon happen in real time. I'm moving over there, guys. Give me 1 second so you guys can see. Just
Discovery, go at throttle up.
look, see that? So a plain English way of trying to say if what I just said to you about
I'm in space.
about plasma propagation and stuff, I'm shutting that off for a second. If what I just said made no sense, Starship is going so fast it's ripping the air molecules apart that it hits. And the air molecules basically divide by 0 when it hits them going 26,000 kilometers an hour. 17,500, actually it's more than that. It's about 18,000 miles an hour. It's going so fast it rips air apart. It's so cool, man.
And still enabling that same design today.
Yeah, subatomic goo.
Starship has passed through 85 kilometers altitude. Flaps now have control of the vehicle.
Great
Look
call out, as Kate
at
mentioned. The flaps
that.
are controlling
It's
the attitude
wild,
of the
man.
vehicle. And I love these views
dude,
because
you can't
it's
test
so
for this stuff on the
calm.
ground.
Everything is relative, right? So relative to this camera on the ship, it looks so calm and smooth, but the vehicle is traveling extremely fast. You can see the speed on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other
Beautiful.
humans to help out. So we also want rapid reusability. So we're doing propulsive
Blazing.
landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes. And so we will use the engines on this vehicle to help slow the vehicle
I saw
down
some
for a vertical
ablation
landing.
going on here.
Now, entry is going to
So guys, you with the tiles, you shouldn't see any sparks. You shouldn't see anything. It should just look nice and glowing, right? I'm seeing some ablation right there. See, parts are coming off. Something is ablating down there. So if you see sparks coming off the plasma flow, that means something is burning off the side of Starship. And Starship does have an ablative protection system, just to be absolutely sure, right? They put it behind the tiles just to make sure in case the tiles failed. But yeah, that ideally is not what you want to see, but it seems like SpaceX is aware of this. See something just ablated off right there. So what happens when something ablates? When something ablates, it burns and actually basically just fries itself off the vehicle. It does give you a momentary like thermal barrier, but with all the tiles there, it's not enough to generate enough of a thermal barrier to actually work. You generally don't want to see sparks flying. That's all.
Actually, I also tell you a little bit about the temperature that the vehicle is seeing as well. So I think that's pretty cool that we get this amazing live visual.
Speaking of live visual, the flap, we have more views, more cameras on board Starship, as Dan mentioned a few minutes ago. We are hoping that all 4 flaps will stay more intact than they did last time. We did make some changes to the design in order to help enable
Starship is now experiencing peak heating, remains on a nominal entry trajectory.
Okay. We have peak heating. Look at how that plasma flow is super defined.
That Starship is continuing along the path.
That's what you want to see. This is what you want right there. You don't want sparks flying off.
You can keep track with how fast it's going and how high it is above Earth using the display that is there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen.
So those flashes that you see on camera are Starship's reaction control system, kind of helping control attitude. But as the flight director said, the flaps are in control right now.
You guys kind of talked about, so it's called the static arrow.
That's beautiful.
Those are kind of the poke out points.
You can't test for this.
Those get exposed to some pretty extreme heat environments, and so we added some additional, basically made it a lot more robust for the thermal protection there. And we learned not just from visuals and stuff like that. We had those missing tile tests on Flight 4 where we intentionally left some out, kept in some backup layers. They're called ablatives, which means they just gradually melt away to help dissipate the heat. And we've got an entire layer of ablative underneath the tiles on this Starship.
They put a regular ablator under the tiles.
If you get a gap in a tile or a tile is broken, anything like that, we've got essentially backup options. And what we're really trying to do today is do an on-target landing.
This looks nice and smooth. Just because you're through peak heating, guys, doesn't necessarily mean you're out of the woods, okay? you know, there is peak heating, but you're not at peak deceleration. If you notice, they're at peak heating, but your speed is not, it's starting to decelerate really good, and as you really fast. And as you go further down in the atmosphere, your atmospheric pressure increases. Just because you're going through peak heating doesn't mean you're not. It doesn't mean it's not the roughest part of reentry. Peak heating is not like exclusive with a peak decel. Peak decel and the highest pressures encountered on the vehicle aren't happening for another like 1 to 2 minutes.
The view on your left is a
Tiles
camera
no
that's positioned
likey
near
sheer.
the nose
Yeah.
of the ship, looking basically down
Like,
towards
it's
the
beautiful,
flap.
man. Look at
the
that.
view
Look
on
at the flow coming
right
off
is
the
looking
flap.
perpendicular to
It's
the
so
flap. So we're
cool.
looking basically bird's eye view onto the flap on the left-hand side, and then a worm's eye view from the side with that view on the right.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Maverick just buzzed the tower. He might be coming back, so.
So this is a front flap
Now,
that's
these
looking
views,
at a rear flap.
brought to us by Starlink. It's incredible that we have this high definition capability. In fact, that view on the left.
Starship is now halfway through the peak heating phase of entry, remains on a good trajectory.
So what we don't want here, like I said, you don't want sparks flying off the vehicle. That's really bad. That means something is ablating, and you don't necessarily want that. With tile systems, you should just see plasma flow coming off the vehicle. The other thing you don't, oh, I saw some sparks up there. The other thing you don't want is you don't want heating going through. You don't want what's called plasma permeation. It's a cool word, it's a cool phrase to say. Plasma permeation means that these plasma flows are going somewhere you do not want. Remember, all that air gets compressed up against the vehicle, and Starship, it has nowhere to go. And when it gets fully compressed, it basically burns. It ionizes and turns to plasma. That plasma just gets stuck. It gets stuck on the side of the vehicle, like what you're seeing right there. You do not want that. You want that to push out to the sides. Plasma permeation here in your thermal protection system is like having a hole in a boat hull. Not good. It's not going to end well. It might be okay for a little while, but you generally don't want that. That's why SpaceX put that ablator behind the tiles, just to be absolutely sure.
But again, these views are additional to the data that we get on these flight tests that help enable us kind of put the data that we get in the computer to the visuals that we see and try and align those and use that for improvements in the future.
Now, we heard a call out there saying that engine chill has begun. This is an indication that we are starting to flow a little bit of the super cold liquid oxygen through
some
the
ablation on that
hardware,
aft flap,
through the
see it?
Raptor engine, specifically the turbo pumps, to help ensure that the hardware is at the right temperature before we
A lot
give
of ablation
full
on
push,
that aft
a
flap,
full
guys.
flow of propellant at engine startup. So all of that to say, we are getting closer to the landing burn.
We definitely are.
So
And
this
again,
is a
if you
shot of
look
an aft
at
flap
the
here.
bottom right hand of your screen, you can see the altitude that the ship is, and it has been slowly making its
Hold
way
together,
closer
baby.
and closer to Earth. We're currently at about 63 kilometers from planet Earth, and you'll see that number.
You're getting ablation on both
trend
flaps.
lower and lower as
This
we
is the
get
flap
closer
opposite
and,
that one.
continue
Both
through
of the
this
flaps are
re-entry.
ablating. If they're ablating
this
equally,
is going to
then
go on
it's
for a little,
not the worst
actually,
problem to have.
a while longer. We have about 10 minutes or so, roughly, before we execute the landing, the ignition for the landing burn, starting with the landing
Come on,
flip.
baby, hold together.
So we're making a controlled re-entry. This
Diamond
is one
hands,
of
Starship.
the
Let's
primary
go.
objectives for Starship today is to demonstrate another controlled re-entry, even more controlled than what we saw on Flight 4. And so far, that is looking good.
Yeah, ML, old school shuttle fans know how crazy this footage actually is.
As we start to really get lower, we're going to start seeing the atmosphere's effects start to take place, and that's when we'll be dropping our speed down closer to the speed of sound. You'll see the flaps start to maneuver. We were able to do a landing burn on Flight 4, which kind of caught all of us off guard. It was pretty incredible after seeing the flaps survive through.
Why don't they
we're
lower
gonna
the
try and
altitude
do another
faster?
one on this flight today.
So they don't want to. You don't want to lower your altitude too quickly, Alex. If you lower your altitude too quickly, you run into too much atmosphere, and the heating is you're introducing too much heat into your thermal protection system, more than what it can take. Remember, a tiled thermal protection system is a passive TPS. It can only really bleed off the heat as fast to a certain extent. You can only put heat into it so quickly. So what Starship does to try and get around that, and the shuttle does this too, and most capsules do for what it's worth, you try to stay up there as long as you can. You don't want to dip too far too fast. Your period of heating will be lower if you dip into the atmosphere quicker, but your overall heating temperature will be higher doing a very steep re-entry like that. You don't want to do that, especially with a human-rated vehicle, because a steep re-entry is like what a warhead would do. You don't want to do that because your deceleration would be like 30, 40, 50 Gs. That would liquefy a person. It's bad for the thermal protection system, and it's bad for the meat suits, the meat bags that are flying around in it. Now, there's no one on this Starship right now, but in the future, SpaceX wants people to fly on it. And if you do a 30 to 40 G decel, like that's a little rough. It's a little rough for our meat suits to be able to take care of that, you know?
Period, typically during the highest heat on
half
the
flaps
vehicle,
look okay. Front flaps look decent. Oh, shoot.
Lose,
that's plasma
connection,
permeation. Or it could be a reflection. I hope it's a
vehicle,
reflection, but
again,
it doesn't
with
look like
Starlink, we
it.
were able to get some live views throughout that entire process there.
Hold together, baby. Now, look at the deceleration now, guys.
And we're coming up.
See, they've passed peak heating, but look, the decel is starting to wreak havoc on this thing.
When we start getting down to like the transonic, the subsonic, when we're starting to move closer to and beneath the speed of sound. And I mean, we're getting live views, we're getting live
right passing,
data.
there you
We've
go.
got a couple additional tests on this one today. Where we
I'm worried about that little guy.
Again.
Come on, stay together, baby.
Some additional backup layers.
The leading edges are the most important parts, guys. So like right here and right there, that is the most important.
Kind of silvery looking tiles.
Oh boy, you're getting burned through again.
Well.
Right there. That's not good.
Those were
Oh, see the jet? See the plasma jet? It's permeating through. That's not good. That's bad.
Straightforward one where aluminum starts to melt at roughly the same temperature
where
steel starts to lose its strength, not necessarily melt. And so if we see stuff melting, we know.
Come on, baby, stay together. See the jet? The plasma's going where you don't want, and wherever that plasma's going to go, it's going to melt it.
Minutes since launch should be coming up on
the metallic structure will become your ablator. That energy's got to go somewhere, and if the tiles aren't pushing it off to the side, it's going to go through your ship and start melting things. See that? That plasma jet isn't as bad as last time, but it's still bad.
Catch a glimpse of the vehicle.
Man, those front flaps get toasty, man.
Forward end and
almost there.
Aft end. The larger camera view that is there on the right-hand side of your screen, that is a view of
stay together, baby.
Aft end or the bottom end flaps. We can start to see some heat build up.
I see it right there. That might be just a reflection, dudes.
In the top left-hand corner of your screen.
Oh, yep. See the sparks? That's ablation. That's no good. Oh, it's burning the snot out of that stainless steel. Now, stainless steel can take a lot of heat, but there's only so much heat you can introduce into it before it hits critical mass and starts to melt. Like that.
9 seconds into
just
its
like
flight
that.
Today,
no.
the Earth's atmosphere. Currently about 45 kilometers above the surface of the Earth.
They should be getting out of heating
we are targeting
very soon
a
here.
Soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
That's to be fair, guys. That's way less than last time. Last time, a chunk of the wing was missing by this point.
As we did on Flight 4, perform a flip maneuver as well as a
Starship is at maximum dynamic pressure. Remains on a good trajectory.
That's Max Q. That's good news.
All right, so that is
good news.
Great news there.
Max Q for descent.
Like Dan said earlier, this
Thank
is
you for all the subs, Symbol
Max
One.
Q
Appreciate you, man. I saw it.
So this is the
see the sparks. The sparks are not what you want. That's really bad.
That the vehicle will experience during its flight, coming back through the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, diamond hands, man!
Above the Earth's atmosphere in space, where there was no friction, we can obviously see heat as a evidence of that friction buildup. The atmosphere is actually helping to slow the vehicle down. If you're watching the telemetry in the bottom right,
40 kilometers off the deck,
right-hand corner of your screen, you can see that speed.
See the heat. Now the heating is going away. They're slowed down enough so the Starship can push the air out of the way fast enough. That kinetic energy has gotten dissipated. Most of it got dissipated as heat. Some of it got dissipated into the wing. You can tell because it's pretty hot.
One of the main objectives for the ship today is to demonstrate controlled re-entry.
That was way better than last
during
time.
this
It's still they still
flight,
had
this
some burn
re-entry
through, but
phase.
it was pretty good.
Yeah, and we have six
course.
engines on ship.
Kelsey, yeah,
but
they'll
we
make it, man.
Only need
They'll make
three
it.
of them, the
They'll
three
make it.
sea-level engines. We will have that.
This
flip
thing is
maneuver
falling
happen
apart.
Very
Get old.
close to.
We're not gonna
touching
make-
down for
we'll make
splashdown.
it.
We'll do that flip maneuver, ignite those engines, slow the
Finishing
vehicle
this
down
mission.
immediately, and then hopefully have what we call a soft splash. What we call a soft splashdown in the water. It's probably going to feel a little bit harder on the top of the surface of the water, but it'll look pretty gentle.
Yeah, and like
Now
we
we're
said
flying
earlier,
half the
we hope
ship.
to have some more views. Even
Hey,
of
they got
that
more than half
phase
this
of
time.
The flight.
I'd
So
say
fingers
you got
crossed
like
that we can,
90% of the
that
vehicle.
We can bring those to you. We are hoping to splash down softer than we did last time on Flight 4. Right now, Starship continuing to make its descent back to
Starship
planet
is
Earth.
at Mach 2, remains on a good trajectory.
Hey.
All right, great news there. That tells us that the vehicle is traveling twice the speed of sound. So we will then, the next call out that we'll hear is that it is, traveling about the speed of sound, and then we will hear a call out.
Dude, that wing
is-
made it.
or
It
that
made
will be
it.
the
There
call
was a
out
little
that
bit
it
of
is
burn through, but
transonic,
she
and
made
then
it.
We'll hear another call out saying that it is subsonic, meaning going slower than the speed of sound.
Come on, baby.
Starship is transonic.
Transonic.
There it is. So at this
This is great. Dude, it made it.
So
it made it through.
At this point in time,
It has more wing than
I'm
it did
saying
last time.
transonic because certain parts of the vehicle, like the flap that you see on your screen, might be experiencing airflow faster than the speed of sound.
She's belly flopping.
While
It's good.
Other parts of the ship may be experiencing airflow.
Starship is in the subsonic belly flop.
All right,
Subsonic.
so now the
That's
entire
great, man.
vehicle is traveling slower than the speed of sound, so subsonic. The crowd here at Mission Control Hawthorne also getting excited, just like us. We're awaiting a water landing. We are going to reignite the three engines to perform that flip maneuver, and we're basically about a minute and a half.
You're looking at the flaps,
away
steer the
from
thing.
The landing flip.
Yeah, the crowd's getting excited here as we get closer and closer to splashdown. Again, just about a minute
33,000
away from the
feet.
expected splashdown. So we should see a lot happening.
She's falling like a brick.
Coming up here shortly. We're currently having a view of one of the flaps, and it is a little bit dark on your screen, but hopefully we'll get some good views
25,000
of
feet.
the ship as it makes that flip maneuver and touchdown for splashdown.
Yeah,
yeah, guys, we saw that speed
20,000
drop like
feet.
a rock. So we're doing a belly flip right now, or a belly flop right now. That's what's kind of, if you saw the high altitude campaign, that's the unique thing about how Starship comes back. So we've bled off pretty much all of
15,000.
the speed we're going to. We're essentially at terminal velocity.
Starship is at 5 kilometers altitude,
then-
remains on target.
Five to go, coming up soon. Landing
10,000
burn.
feet.
Two kilometers away.
Starship is on target, approaching landing burn startup.
1 mile.
So keep an eye on the bottom right-hand side of your screen as well.
Come on, baby.
That will be the indicator when the Raptor engines ignite, if we are unable to see that illumination ourselves.
Landing burn startup.
3,000 feet. Good landing burn.
Of that landing burn.
We can see the water just behind the ship.
That looks right, man. She took a swim, and it tipped over.
Oh,
that's cool. What the hell? Oh my goodness!
To Starship's journey, a live view from a buoy that we had out at the landing zone.
Dude, that thing, dude, it popped. Holy crap, it made it.
Landing just
And then it didn't.
They were calling out.
That was amazing, and we were not attempting to recover any of the ship's hardware. So that was the best ending
That was badass,
we could have
dude.
hoped for.
Dude, part of it's still good.
I
That
don't
was
think
awesome.
we're going to be able to get a ton of extra video of the heat shield, but we hit the target. We hit the target.
Dude,
Yeah.
that thing can't be more. That thing can't be more than
we hit the
1,000
target
meters away.
because we
That
had these
freaking
buoys
buoy.
placed in a pretty specific spot. So, wow, what a day!
Yeah, they probably terminated the flight.
What a day!
But oh my goodness.
I mean, everything started off today with that launch. We were able to lift off towards the end of our window, 7:25 a.m. Central Time.
Dude, they'll land a Starship.
30
They'll
feet,
catch one of
33
those
Raptors
things.
in the
You see
wet
how
pit.
close that buoy
Successful
was?
Hot stage booster came back. We watched it come down right behind us. Watched it get caught, and that broke my brain for a while. I'm really happy we had coast for a bit, but that's first ever booster catch, major step on the way to rapid reusability. And ship just gave us one heck of a show, making it through a controlled re-entry this time. Flaps intact, made it down to the water.
Did you see how close it was to that booster, man?
Hey, starships were meant to fly. It
Never
sure
change
as hell
this
flew
shirt.
today.
All right,
So,
this is our Starship
let's get
shirt
ready
from
for the
now
next
on,
one.
man.
Over to you guys.
They were meant to fly, and they were also meant to be caught by Mechazilla.
Yeah.
It's been such an incredible day today. Congratulations to our teammates and to everyone who supported the Starship program. And thank you to all of our future customers for your support. And we'll also like to thank the
this is
people of
space.
Cameron
I'm in
County,
space.
Texas, as well as the
Hank.
Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation
I'm
Administration,
in shock.
the Government of Mexico.
It made
and
it.
the
It
Australian
made it,
Space
and then they
Agency.
terminated it.
Now,
That's
be
what
sure to
happened.
follow
That
SpaceX
thing
on
splashed
X
down,
for
man.
more
It was
updates
intact.
on today's test flight, and of course for future Starship news. Today was amazing, but the SpaceX action isn't over yet. Soon, Falcon Heavy will launch NASA's Europa Clipper, and we're also going to be returning Dragon back to Earth with NASA's Crew 8 astronauts.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's happening, too.
Congratulations again to the SpaceX team. What an amazing launch and an even cooler catch. Thank you for watching, but we're going to leave you with an awesome recap of what has been the most epic day.
I'm in shock. Dude, that... Oh. Dude, that's a 23-story building doing that. They just caught a 23-story building out of the air. That tower's 520 feet tall. Yeah, Hillness, did you see the shock absorbers working? It was cool, 12, wasn't it? Is it doing the moonwalk? It got pushed back, Maguni. They blew up. I thought it popped from tipping over. They terminated the vehicle on purpose. And they got footage of them terminating the vehicle. Well, now we know the flight control system works, or the flight termination system works, and the FCS for what it's worth. So check out some landing footage from Kimball. All right, let me see. Wow.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Indeed.
Damn! No freaking way. No freaking way. No freaking.
I can't believe that.
Wow. Well, there it comes.
The guy said, what? A 36-story building? That's a 23-story building, Nukalov. The whole stack is a 39-story skyscraper. That's how tall it is. The first stage, what you just saw get caught, is 22 and change. It's a high-rise building, and they just pulled it out of the air. Like, okay, you want measurements just in case. That booster's 70 meters tall, 9 meters in diameter. That's 230 feet by 30 feet. It's a triumph. It's a triumph of physics. Hang on. I gotta see this one more time. I gotta see the landing one more time with the freaking buoy cam.
What a cool view of the reflection of that landing burn.
You can see the water just behind the ship.
And then right there, it's tipping over, and
Starship has landed.
what? Oh, they cut it. Triumph over physics. Yeah, KSD. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. Forgive me if I'm stumbling over my words. See, it did the horizontal translation just like the booster. Yeah, Phil. Did you see how close that buoy cam was? I really hoped they'd showed some of that buoy footage, but here, let's I'm gonna go into the VOD replay and here, let's see the whole replay. Roadrunner, thanks for the raid, man.
What a cool view of the reflection of that landing burn.
You can see the water just
Yeah, it's coming down kind of like this. That's fine. That's what it should be doing.
Starship has landed.
an incredible view. I think it is safe to say
And there it flopped over.
ship in
It is dude, she's floating. She's floating right there. It is down on the ground. On the ground, it's floating. Intact.
Touchdown!
And now it's not intact. That's how they catch it. Exactly, Lahiz. Yeah. Starship is it's gonna basically flap, and then when it comes into land, it's gonna have that same horizontal translation that we saw from the booster. Guys, how far you think this buoy is away? It's less than a kilometer. This is maybe 400 meters at the best. Like at best. Look, you could still see the aft bulkhead of Starship right there and a flap. This is not that far away. Yeah, Max, I'd say quarter mile at best, about 400 meters, maybe, like 100 meters away. Dude, I think this is very telling right here. They can precision land Starships. Right now, with the rough design of Starship, they can get one down sub-kilometer precision, which is, that's no joke, man. Elon tweeted about it. Did they pop it? Here, let's go over to Elon right there. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. Starship landed on target. Dude, yeah, I just need to They're going to dispose of that one, Shido. Yeah. Rockets are beholden to the country of origin. They're not subject to maritime salvage rules, if that's what you're wondering. If it's a U.S. launched rocket from a U.S.-based company, it's U.S. property. There's no maritime salvage. So that whole legitimate salvage nonsense that the Expanse played, no, that's not a thing. No, it's not legitimate salvage, cowboy. You know what that's called? That's called stealing. The more you know, filthy belters. Also, there's that. Dude, I can't believe that. I can't believe they did that. I don't know, Vassia, maybe. Nice, Isaac. That's cool. When it comes to ITAR, probably Cookie, yes.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines.
Yeah, Hermione, I heard it. I heard that. Thanks for the coverage. Going to sleep. All right, Peck. Abby, 11 months. Thank you. Because he asked for permission to do it, Explorer, and then he gave him back to the U.S. government. Yeah, Dan did throw his headset. Dude, you're absolutely right. Dan threw his headset. He absolutely did. That's so cool. He threw his headset. I don't blame him, man. I was like, I'm bouncing around like a crazy man. Dan's my guy, dude. That guy's the best. That, I can't believe that. Starship made it through in one piece and they caught the booster. Bring on Flight 6. Let's go. I need more of this. I don't know about you guys. I need more. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I need more. Y'all got any more of those Starship launches? Did the fire get put out? Yeah. I need more. I need more of it. When is Flight 6? I don't know, but I hope it's sooner rather than later. I press the dopamine button. I need more of this now. Oh my gosh. Will they catch Starship with Flight 6? Who knows, Stroker? They have 2 pads. They could get away with it. Dan threw his headset. That's exactly what happened. You guys called it. I think so, Phil. I think so.
Are you kidding me?
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now.
I want to believe, Chief. I don't know, Led Gary. We'll have to see what the FAA says. I mean, that took the cake, man. That eclipsed Flight 4. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in spaceflight. I've seen a lot of stuff, man. That... I can't believe that worked that well. You know how many people work on this project to get that to do that? The man hours involved here. We should be so lucky, dude. This is a treat, man. I can't believe this. Yeah, about 350. About 350. There you go, Armich. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Somehow feels like it worked a bit too well. I can't believe how well Starship's actually going, McCory. Yeah. Yeah, Tara. Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding. The hours put in from the cream of the crop pays off. Yeah, Dathmere. I mean, SpaceX is like 14, 15,000 strong. You know, I'm going to parrot John Young here after STS-1, but I think it's an applicable phrase. You know, I can't tell you what a tribute that is to the American working man, the American working woman too. Can't imagine the amount of people that worked on this. Come from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they could do the job, and they proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that. I'm sorry. I mean, he said that after STS-1, and I think that statement is applicable here. Also, John Young is my hero. Like, he's my favorite astronaut. He's the Jebediah Kerman of real life. That's right, Caviar. That's right. Flight data is king, man. What's the safing process? Just open up the vents, let it vent, Gil. See what happens. I don't think they're going to reuse this thing again, but... Charlie Duke, Regbach? I shook Charlie Duke's hand, man. Yeah, Aaron, I just... This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Blue Origin is standing down on today's launch attempt to troubleshoot a GPS issue. Oh, okay. Oh, in the future. Dude, look at this shot from NSF. Look at this shot from my buddies over there. Dude, that's so good. That is so good. It's so good, man. Oh, no. Anyways. Dude, Hoppy shot. Yeah, Ben, did you see it? Did you see that thing pop, man? Did you see that explosion? Yeah, we saw it. And my face hurts from smiling. And my voice is completely shot. Like, I'm gonna try to commentate on Europa Clipper tomorrow, and I'm gonna sound like Raj from Monsters Inc. Wazowski, I'm on to you. I'm sorry, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Do you see that, man? You gotta be kidding me. Thanks for the hectic coverage. You're welcome, man. I just can't believe that, dude. I can't believe it. Well, you were shouting. Yeah, that tends to happen, but I think it was warranted. What a day. What a day. What a day, man. Yeah, here. Yeah. Good morning. Ray, what's up, buddy? Hope you enjoyed the show. Crazy to have been a part of this. The whole team has put in their blood, sweat, and tears. Ray, you know, I might not be an engineer, dude, but I'd like to think I have a pretty dang good idea what it takes to make something do that. That they made it look so easy. That's 13 engines for a landing burn, down to 3 for the catch. That's more engines than most launch vehicles have. Just period. Like, the amount of effort that it takes to do that is A triumph, man. It's a triumph. You guys should be damn proud. And we're as space fans, we're all damn proud of the team that worked on this. It's unbelievable, man. Right, Sky Seas? Just yeah, the mechanics involved with this, just from a straight mechanical point of view, let alone the thing flying, dude. I mean, what did I tell you? It was Sky Seas. I told you, you know, like there's some bend. There's some elasticity in the tower. See it moving around? It's supposed to do that on purpose, and it just naturally dissipates the it just naturally dampens out the any moment from the vehicle. Dude, that's impressive. It's so impressive. Like, congratulations, everybody that worked on this. If any, you know, people at SpaceX are watching this, first of all, I'm humbled that you would give me your time. You guys should be damn proud. I can't believe that whole thing was in space, dude. That right there is the biggest thing to come back from space ever. Ever. Period. Full stop. Come back from space in one piece. Let me put it to you like that. Guys, that thing's way bigger than a space shuttle. Like, where's Starship 5? I don't know why you're asking this. It's on the screen right there. Skylab comparison? A Skylab comparison? Skylab, the whole Skylab module is probably about this big. Yeah, maybe this big. And like the diameter is probably like that, maybe. So we're talking like that big with the Apollo telescope mount and everything, and about that size. With its solar panels extended, probably about this. Guys, that's a 9-meter diameter. Skylab was a 6.6 meter diameter, so it's 2/3 of that, which is about this much. A shuttle would be about this big from the 3 engines in the back to the nose. It's about that big, and maybe about that wide. I'm telling you, that booster is huge. That's the biggest thing ever recovered from space. By a long shot. Yeah, you have no way of clocking size from anything in this picture, which is the wild part. There's really no way to get scale here. Like, that tower's 52 stories tall. The booster is 23 stories tall. Yeah, the horizon is pretty camping. That's that big Texas sky, baby. The big Texas sky. That's absolutely a thing. Shuttle was 62 tons. That booster is 300. We are so back. They got the pins, Erudite. I saw it. I saw it, man. Just use meters. That booster's 70 meters tall, 9 meters in diameter. Tower's about 150 meters tall. I can do either one, guys. And sometimes I'm bad at it, but I'm good right now. 70 meter, 9 meter diameter, 150 meter tall tower. It just the hexakilometer, man. Anything but the metric system, baby. Come on, American. We don't use that. I'm just kidding. I know either one, guys. Like, I don't care. Admiral, what did you just see? History, baby. Saw history. Look at that. Ilona, you said, okay, Starship 5 exploded in the Indian Ocean. That's what you got out of this? That's what that out of all the things you could have gotten out of this, that's what you got out of this? Okay. All right. You don't work for like MSNBC or something, do you? By any chance? Or like CBS or something, or CNN? Can you link this video? Sure. Sure. That's what you got out of this, dude? For real? That's it? Nah, CBS is actually good. Bill Harwood over there does a good job for what it's worth. Dude, Dan can't even speak straight. Did you hear that? Listen. He can't even speak straight. I don't blame him, man. I couldn't speak straight either. I was like, listen to it one more time. Hold on. I'm going to turn it up. Ready?
Megavilla has popped a booster.
That's awesome, man. Someone was asking about arrow effects during plasma propagation. I don't know if I explained it right. Oh, Jake, I'm sorry, guys. It got lost in chat. What do you guys want to know about plasma and stuff? Is that do we have to make that a sub noise? Can somebody clip the sound for me? It gets funnier every time, dude. Somebody clip the sound. I don't blame him, man. Like if you go listen to me, I'm like, you know, like he sounded like Farmer Fran from Waterboy. We live playing that day. We live play, but not day. What the hell did he say? It sounded like there's the booster, it landed, but I don't know if that came out right. Like,
Megavilla has popped a booster.
Dude, that's so good. That's better than Oh my goodness. Fabricator, what do you got? Oh, that's cool. Unreal. There's the click of coconut. This is the best day ever. Yeah, Major, I think you might be right, dude. But poor new gift sub alert. Boosters in the ignition. Oh wait, well, I gotta see it one more time. Hold on.
13 ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in here.
How does that happen?
Booster having current shutdown.
Megavilla has popped the booster.
I know what picture this is.
On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
That's we got. All right, we got to make that into it. Like that. It gets funnier every time. Skip it, bop. Chris, it looks like the arms closed on it, and the booster was kind of moving back and forth. But you know, the padding, there's pads on the sides of the chopsticks, and that kind of centered it, and then the booster just kind of let down, dude. Reminds me of Steve Carell doing the news. You do caca poo poo, pee pee, like that. One more time. Not yet, Zarek, no. It's perfect, Mishu. Ryan nailed it.
Booster having current shutdown.
Megavilla had caught the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt,
awesome.
we have successfully caught.
That gets funnier every time, dude. There's the vibe with Buffalo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Oh boy. Yeah, Gotsar, I originally said that I think that the catch arms are a little bit to the right, and I think they are, but it looks like it's centered over the pad, dude. Best view, Fox. Yes, this was clipped. This is from Dutch Space, but this was the footage from the very end. Here, look at this. See, they move in, and it kind of centers the thing, and then clip, and then it dampens out those things. The side tracks setting down dampen out any remaining movement on that thing. Click. Yeah, we gotta gift this. You're right, Kat. That's so awesome, dude. That is so awesome. It's, and I mean awesome in the actual sense of the word. That is awe-inspiring stuff. Yeah, Tessa, dude, it's straight as a die, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, your face when half a centimeter turned out to be right. Baron, can you believe that? People thought he misspoke. I told you, Gerst doesn't misspeak. That guy, dude, he does not misspeak. That's not how that happens. It catches on those pins right there. Yeah, Jay. It's on, you'll see the pins. Yeah, Max. Dude, I don't blame you for being skeptical. See the pin right there? The pin lands on this flat surface right there. And see, there's little bumper cushions right there. And the bumpers kind of center the pins, which, what we all thought is that they would just land this thing sub-centimeter precision without the bumpers, without any guides, right? But those bumpers right there are clearly sliding on the side of the booster. And if you watch this in real time, the booster kind of wiggles back and forth when the arms get closed. And the little bumpers, this is like cloth. It's like a cloth bumper. It's like a pillow almost. That's kind of it centers the pins right on. And there's your sub-centimeter precision, dudes. Like, that's got to be what he meant. Talk to the mods, Moguni. Yeah. It just, see how it kind of wiggles back and forth right there? It centered it perfect. Oh my goodness. Right, Midnight? Yeah, it's like the guides for an automated car wash, dude. Same idea. Yeah, Edmund, the whole track mechanism, guys, is on it's all on shock absorbers. You'll see the booster come down, and to prevent shock loading on the chopsticks, which would break them off, they move down and it absorbs it. What in engineering it's called damping. Not dampening. Dampening means you're getting wet. It's called damping. The tracks are on shock absorbers. You'll see them absorb all the movement right there. See what I'm talking about? Guys, it's just like the landing legs. The landing legs do the same things. But you have a shock absorber here instead of a crush core. It's the same idea. SpaceX just put the landing legs on the catch arms instead. And they're not really landing legs, landing arms, maybe? See? That's what Falcon 9's landing legs do. They absorb the movement. It's the same thing. Yeah, Mishu, I've seen that. I've seen Liv's footage. That's amazing. Yeah, it's the suspension tin. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's just a big shock absorber. The tracks are on a big shock absorber. That's all. I say that. Oh, that's all. No, I mean, that's pretty damn complicated, but that's the concept. The concept's pretty straightforward. I've always maintained, dudes, that rocket science is really easy to understand. It's not hard to understand. It's hard to do. Like, I know what this thing is doing. I'm not an engineer. I know what that's doing. It's pretty straightforward stuff. You don't see me trying to do that, though, right? But, yeah, that's all it is, dude. It's just a shock absorber. You think they need to increase the bump setting? What about the rebound? NSF is showing the chopsticks grab it from a different angle. All right, let me check it out, dudes. Let me check it out. Yeah, let me just give it a refresh. Rewind about 30 seconds if my computer decides to cooperate. Give me 1 second. NSF is showing their other views. Thanks for the stream. You're going to get some sleep, Ray. All right. We'll start winding down here in a second.
And also, thanks to everybody that was on the pre-stream. Like, we had Trevor, we had Ryan Weber, we had EJ that did like, I think EJ did like 6 hours.
He did. He was holding down the fort.
Yeah, we had Chris Bergen, of course.
Yep.
They were so.
Trying to show
just in time.
At the same time.
It just shouted me out. You hear that? The EJ they were talking about. That's your boy.
With all the people in the field we had.
Listen to that over there. They're like, oh, he did 6 hours. Guys, look at the uptime. Who's that EJ guy? All right, Linux. See you, buddy. Hold on. What is this? What is this? Extremely dank meme. Extremely dank meme, dude. Oh my god. I gotta see this one more time. It's so bad. Europa clip for tomorrow. I'll be here, Fed. Well, I'll be here. You get it. You got one from Elon, Phil? What is this? I've seen that one, Goose. Yeah, some of the footage I don't want to show on stream, you know, because I don't have permission for certain folks. I have permission from NSF and obviously SpaceX. Yeah, Skyseas, can you believe that? Oh, that's dope. Skyseas, what gets me, dude, is that, I mean, dude, you're a mechanical engineer, you know. It's a 300-ton booster, 10 to 15 meters off center from your structure. You know how much moment that thing is making. Those shock absorbers, guys, are absolutely needed. Trevor Sesnick over at NSF did the math for me. It's 60 million Newton meters moment force right here from the booster. That's no joke. And, dude, it just took it. Tower didn't even sway that much. Like, the fact that they were able to dampen out the mechanical or the kinetic energy of that booster and just make it look perfect, just perfectly smooth, is wild to me. I hope you brought SpaceX. I hope you bought SpaceX stocks, yeah. Yeah, right, Rotor? For real. I did. These are D. This is D's pictures. You gonna dream about Starship tonight? Yeah, maybe. Hey, Revelations. Mark 1335, baby. Enjoy this timeout. Unbelievable, dude. Trevor was saying 60 Dark Nays. I believe him. But yeah, I'd have to do the calculation myself if I want to. But the problem is I'm bad at calculations. I know, Perry. Can you believe that? Right, Taylor? It's pretty cool. Seems like the booster stops itself partway through the vertical range of the shock absorbers before dropping a little bit more. It might have been the pin settling, but you got to remember, 1011, the whole thing is a spring. That whole booster, when the engines stop, it's going to stretch a little bit, just a little bit, because you're hanging it now instead of pushing up, right? So your stopping force is not coming from the bottom, it's coming from the top now. So the whole thing is going to stretch. That's what you saw. Dude, everything's a spring. Everything is a spring. So watch, you can see the whole thing kind of lay out here when the engine shut off. See that? That's unreal, dude. You can really see it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see in this shot, but am I a spring? If you're brave enough. Oh, man. Yeah, Max. It's just... What a mechanical ballet. It's a symphony. It just... Not to wax poetic too much. Poetry in motion, man. That's biodigital jazz, man. No, Flynn! Am I still supposed to make the perfect system? Yeah? That's pretty cool. So now what? Try to get some sleep? I guess. What time is it? Right, Elf? Unbelievable. They didn't test the dispenser, PS5, no. Send it again. Send it again. Send it again. Send it again, man. You know, like... Kicks it. It re-entered. Starship re-entered and it made it, dude. Here, let me back it up a little bit. Let me show you. Check this out. So this is footage from the landing burn. You can see the water down there. And... wait for it. Wait for it. Splash. You want to know how accurate that Starship entry, descent, and landing was, Kicks? Look. They had a buoy. Can't be more than 100 meters away. Maybe 200 to 200. I'd say it's no closer than 100, no further away than 400 meters. It landed, splashed down in the Indian Ocean, just as planned, and then they blew it up. See? Yeah, that part. It landed in one piece and then proceeded to not be one piece, but that was on purpose. They terminated it so it would sink, so nobody would get it. What happens if she rotated 90 degrees and those pins end up between the arms? Problems, D-Pick. Let me put it to you like that. Origin scrubbed out of embarrassment. Are they going to set the booster on the OLM? I wouldn't. Jen, that booster needs to be inspected. That's the big one. The booster needs to be inspected. What I would be doing with that booster is I'd go over every single piece of it and make sure. What I'd be looking for is differences in the booster from when you launched it to when you landed it. What changed during its whole flight time? What changed? So obviously we saw a chine get blown off during descent. You got to figure out why it did that. I think that was probably the only real thing that, at least from a superfluous level, that we saw. What I would be doing is taking apart those engines and looking at all the components and comparing them pre-flight to post-flight. If the composition of the engines, or if the mode of the engines is about the same pre-flight to post-flight, that's good data. That's a good thing to know. What I would do is take those Raptor engines, especially the ones that did the landing burns, and compare them to what's called a test mule engine. So something at McGregor that a Raptor that probably has the most amount of firing time on it, most amount of hours, which is probably not a lot because rocket engine burns are usually measured in minutes, right? I would compare it to the rocket engine that has the most firing time on it. And that usually is a testing engine. You take those flight motors, you compare it to the test mule and see how different they are. If they're the same, if they're better than the test mule engine, compare them to a new motor. What's the difference between a new motor and this motor that's flown through the air? What did the flight data add to this? Did it change anything? Maybe compare it to an engine that did the ascent, that basically flew the ascent regime on the test stand. You know, it was programmed to fly like it was on Starship, but it was on the test stand. Compare them. If they're the same, then you're good to go. But that's all data. That thing is a treasure trove of data. It's invaluable. That booster coming back is the single biggest thing that's ever been above the Kármán line and back in one piece. That thing right there, invaluable. Invaluable. The view on NSF Starbase Live is surreal. I'm talking about how DAS likes the post-launch pad without the rocket view. Urist. Wow. Savage, dude. Guys, another thing that I would be really looking at if I was SpaceX is your umbilical carrier plate is on fire. Look, most of the time rockets have flames going out the bottom. As Tim Dodd would say, you want the flamey end pointing down. Does that look like the whole flamey end is pointing down? Flames are coming out of the side. The umbilical started leaking methane. How do I know it's methane? Well, see the burnt cloud right here? The cloud of burnt fuel? That's unburnt methane, which means you're fuel rich. See what I'm talking about here? In terms of mixture of oxidizer to fuel, right? If you get a black cloud like that, that's a lot of carbon post-combustion. See it right there? And it's because the umbilical is leaking methane. That right there, where my mouse pointer is the fill and drain line. That's basically the gas cap for a super heavy. Well, gas and oxidizer cap, because your oxidizer is liquid, unlike a car where you pull in oxygen from the atmosphere, right? So their umbilical did start to leak there. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that, but it's blatantly burning off methane right there. Now, don't get me wrong. That's what's happening is the methane is coming out of here, and then it's getting caught up in the convected heat from the exhaust, and it's burning. It's auto-combusting, basically. And because it's in the atmosphere, you have straight gaseous methane atomizing with the atmosphere, meeting a source of heat, you're going to get a little residual combustion. But because it's only methane leaking and not oxidizer, you're going to get a fuel-rich combustion, which means you get black clouds. Black clouds indicates more fuel than oxidizer, right? Their umbilical started leaking. You could see it burning off right there as the booster comes into land. Now, it doesn't seem like that is that big of a deal, right? But also, I'm pretty sure that's unintended behavior. Now, once again, that does not in any way, shape, or form diminish from this whole thing. On other rockets, if your umbilical's leaking like that, you ain't getting it back. Maybe unless it's Falcon 9, you ain't getting it back. SpaceX wants to figure out why that leaked. Go and look at it. Go look at it. It's not like it's miles away, you know? Like, it's not like it's at the bottom of the ocean, right? Yeah, your QD umbilical plate is leaking. And look, at the very end, see all the black smoke? All that black smoke is coming from residual methane that's caught in the motors, and that residual methane is getting ignited by that flame from your umbilical. I'm like 100% sure of this. It's like 2 miles away. Yeah, like 2, maybe 350. The QD D'd a little too much. Do you have any shots of the ship angle at splashdown? Craig, the best I got is from SpaceX themselves. Give me 1 second. Guys, my voice is starting to really go. Here, this is what I got. This is during the landing burn. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on, but you can blatantly see water right there. And then the ship is basically dunked like this, and then it's going to tip over and then splash down right there. That's it, man. It looks like they did have a residual fire from the engines. That happens. But yeah, you have a darker voice. My voice is starting to go. I have to stop. It was mostly from me screaming like a madman at my computer. Not getting pissed at a game, but because we saw, it's because we saw that happen. Guys, I gotta see this again. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. EJ's turning to the dark side. You've been up for 11 hours. Yeah. I only got 2 to 3 hours of sleep last night, Arsenal. I went to bed at probably like 6 p.m. and woke up at maybe 9. Something like that. Hi, this is my first time seeing you stream apart from NSF. I had to come and see what you thought of this flight. Zach, dude, let me, where's the, I don't really have any words. I said on Flame Trench the other day, after hearing Gerst say they can nail the landing, I was 100% confident. I upgraded from like a partial catch to 100% confident, and it looks like I was right on the money. Because, dude, anybody that knows this industry has been following for a long time. If Bill Gerstenmaier says something, he means it. It's not, he didn't misspeak. He meant exactly what he said, and that's a pretty damn good example. That is the coolest. That is the coolest, dude. Rewatching crowd point of view gives you feels. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Please say, in a world where giant rocket boosters have gone to space and gotten caught back. Share the close-up? Yeah, sure. This is a repost of some SpaceX footage. One Flight 6. The vehicle was Starship was successfully terminated in the Indian Ocean, Jim, and the booster is exactly where SpaceX intended it to be. I don't think you can get more successful. SpaceX still needs to do some work with their heat shields. But guys, it's not about that. It's about catching the booster. That was the real win here. And I think that they complied with all FAA public safety requirements. I think Flight 6 is... I think if I was SpaceX, I would gun Flight 6 as soon as possible. I'm thinking, take that booster off of the chopsticks, inspect the ULM, do the turnaround that you need to, send that booster off to McGregor or something. Right? It's, what is it, booster 12? Dude, my brain's scrambled from what I just saw. Put the next one on there. Put the next one on there. Anonymous gifter gave Zach on Earth a sub. Hey, you got gifted a sub. So, Zach, that's the equivalent of a pad wrap membership here over on Twitch, if you didn't know. 12.1. Thank you, Hermiot. Yeah. Oh, man. Wouldn't reuse be better? A better test of the booster? Send it after the next flight. Send it. What do you think Flight 6 is going to do? You got to prove that you can do this again, NG, at this point. Prove that you can do it again. It's the STS-2 of Starship missions. You got to... STS-1 proved you could do it once. STS-2 proved that you can do it again. What an epic day. Thanks, Jay. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Ryzen.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Welcome to Mission Control. Your go at throttle up. All right, guys. Please, someone redeem ad time. I need my ads, please. All right. I just... Rise and have a good sleep. Yep. Yep.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'm running so much on adrenaline, dude. I don't think that's possible, but... Are you a Sith now? Yes. I think leaving explosives in the ocean was not an option. It was probably not an option. It was planned, Gothsar. That was a planned explosion. I can't believe that. Anyway, guys, we want to look at outgoing missions. NS-27 scrubbed, Crew 8 undock scrubbed because of poor recovery conditions. But we do have Europa Clipper tomorrow at noontime. And guess what? You boys, I'm going to be here for that. So, just woke up kind of confused on the timeline, plus times on the vids. Was it a 7-minute for the booster return and a little over an hour for Starship? Starship landed in the Indian Ocean, Cartoys. So, yeah, it was in a coast period. The odd point about the ship popping, it sounded like Dan was hoping to analyze the heat shield. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is there a reason why we don't have an image from the boat of the landing? We had the buoy cam hide. SpaceX will probably release that footage later. There was a buoy right next to Starship when it landed. We saw that on the stream, man. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for you, boy. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. I'll be here. My voice is shot. I got to stop. What are they going to do with the terminated spaceship? It blew up. It sank. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow, okay? This was a great day. It's pretty cool. And I'm very privileged and very humbled to be sharing it with you. So, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to do what I do from the bottom of my heart. I very much appreciate it. Everybody that watched over on YouTube, everybody that bit-tip subbed, hits that like button for YouTube. You guys are helping me in ways that I thought are unimaginable. So, I really believe that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. My voice is shot, dude. I got nothing. I'm going to sound like an old man for Europa Clipper tomorrow, but I'm going to be here. Right? I'll see you guys all tomorrow for Europa Clipper. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good Sunday. Oh, I guess we should go watch football now. Like, yeah, I'll see you later. I'm going to bed. Good night. Thank you.